Treat him like a side piece. Come in this truth plan and treat you like a side piece. He's the God of mercy and wrath. So do you want to fly or do you keep the Bible on cop? The Most High is my rock. TK. Rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. In the name of Messiah, the Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. Yeah. The Most High is my rock. I keep my Bible on top. The Most High is my rock. No time for cupcake and the cutling. Hit the streets and start cutting. The Israelites are bubbling. The Israelites are coming. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. You can keep the stuffing. It's pagan, disdain, it's vain, it's nothing. The European Union about to hit the button. And I feel sorry for you if you think the Lord is bluffing. That's why I hit the booth and I tell the truth. Are you fishing with the truth? Tell me where's your fruit? If the Most High is your rock, don't treat him like a side piece. Come in this truth plan and treat you like a side piece. He's the God of mercy and wrath. So do you want to fly or do you keep the Bible on cop? The Most High is my rock. TK. Rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. In the name of Messiah, the Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. Yeah. The Most High is my rock. I keep my Bible on top. The Most High is my rock. No time for cupcake and the cutling. Hit the streets and start cutting. The Israelites are bubbling.
Israel. Shalom. Welcome to another live class. We're here. It's the Shabbat. We're at 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas, 77071. Our class times are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 10, 7 to 9. Friday from 6 to 8. Shabbat morning class from 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. After that, we go street speaking. If you're local in Houston, you can join us. We're usually not live on Fridays. They're usually live in Virginia, but switching it up a little bit, giving them a little chance off of the live. So we're here in Houston. We got the school in Virginia at 2610 Granby. If you're local in the Virginia, Chesapeake Bay, Newport News, Richmond area, feel free to join them for class every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 7 to 9. Okay? They're going to be starting up Shabbat class here pretty soon also. They're just waiting for a little bit more consistency from the bros and from sisters, and they'll get that rolling. All right, we got the school in San Antonio, 4444 Walsham Road. They got class every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7 to 10, Saturday from 10 to 2. We're working on the building in Albuquerque. If you're local in these areas and you want class, hit us up, and we'll point you in the right direction. All right, Mashaba does blog talk radio basically every day now from about, 9 to 12?
No, from about 10 to 12.
Oh, 10 to 12? Yeah, he's doing that like every day. He got a few different teachers. He got Taza Pai, he got Bayal Sapar, he got Nagaya. I think he does a kids class also for the children. So you can check that out. blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba, MASHABA. All right, that's Blog Talk Radio. You can check out our various YouTube channels. We got Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We got Hidden Truth Bible Show. We got 5 Minutes of Wisdom. We have Israelite Media Corp. We got what is the kids one? ISBHPK Kids. ISBHPK Norfolk, Virginia live class. So we got a few different ways that we're getting the knowledge out. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the different channels. We got Israelware. Right now, the sisters are still working on the Passover garments. Those will be done by the 1st of July, right? That's the deadline. So they're not accepting any outside orders, but what we are doing, we have the fringed up subscription. All right, you get you a t-shirt. You pay $35 a month. You'll get a T-shirt. you gotta talk to him real quick. Get a T-shirt with a different scripture, different logo, with fringes. All right, or you can do the $70 a month subscription. That's a T-shirt with a matching headband. That's every month, and obviously that all goes, helping out the school, and you'll get something in return. We also have the Sweet Ambiance subscription box. We send you a subscription box with a fragrance every month, $35, and you get something themed and different every month. All right, so we got a few different little business ventures to help the school, and as well as get you guys some nice products. Okay, if you need to reach a teacher, my phone number is 303-557-8979. You can call, text anytime. I'm usually up at all weird hours of the night, so if you text, you might get me. You can reach Priest Kazakia. His number is 281-707-2737. Make sure you just text during class, please. Text only during class. James 4 and 5. Okay. Any donations anybody wants to give, you know the drill on that. We appreciate everyone that's given thus far. Our business is not back up and running yet in the mall, so we kind of been leaning on brothers and sisters a little bit more just for the help for the keep the schools running. Y'all been doing an amazing job helping us out. If it wasn't for brothers and sisters donations and alms, we wouldn't be able to pay rent for the school. So we just ask, without being too aggressive and too pushy and annoying, that if you keep that going, it'll be a blessing for us, man. To keep these schools, keep both locations here and Virginia open. All right. So that's gonna be it for the announcements. There's no feast days or anything like that coming up here at all, right? Right. So we do got a topic set up, but for right now, what we'll do, we'll go. I know there was a question that the sister had, and if you got anything quick online, we can hit it. So Abadiah, you said your question was in James 4:5?
Yes.
Okay. One sec. James chapter 4 and verse 5. James chapter 4 and verse 5. Now let's see. Let me just. Right. Well, let's give them a second to log in. Yeah, if y'all got anything, y'all can shoot them online. We definitely want to go into this topic. Person at the top is not even here. That is sad. So she had a question in. Do I have any idea when children's classes are going to be going live? Any idea on that? Children's classes going live? Did y'all speak about that in the meeting?
No, because the kids here are small. It wouldn't work for Houston, so I think they said they was going to discuss to see if they went out there.
Okay, so kids' classes, we're still discussing what's going to happen. We have a lot of smaller children here in Houston. Virginia took the majority of the older kids. So we haven't done really kids class here because of, the kids, they're smaller. Their comprehension level is a little bit different. All right. So we're still discussing how we're going to go forward with that. Y'all know how we do. We try to over communicate. So as soon as we know something, we'll definitely let you guys know something so you can, so you guys could be a part of that. We definitely want y'all to be a part of that. So Abadiah had a question in James 4 and verse 5. What was your question?
So I was reading, of course, just the whole book of James.
Right.
But when I got to chapter 4,
Right.
The first part in verse 1,
Right.
I didn't really understand what that was saying.
Okay.
4,
So chapter 4 and verse 4 or 4 and 1?
4 and 1.
Right.
and 2.
Right. So we can read. So we might as well read 1,
Yeah,
2,
and
3,
I kinda
4.
we go over the verse 3 a lot, and I'll ask you this.
Right.
And I know verse 4, but then 5. I didn't understand that question
Okay.
about the lusting, lust in women.
Okay. So let's go over it. Let's go to James 4:1. Read that for me.
It's James chapter 4 and verse 1.
You sent him?
Yeah.
Okay.
James chapter 4 verse 1.
You let the other one know? I got it. Go ahead. Go
James
ahead.
chapter 4 verse 1. From
Right.
whence come wars and fightings among you?
Right. So this is a question. He's asking, where do the wars and the fighting come from amongst the body?
Okay.
Right. Go ahead.
Come they not hence, even of your lust.
Right. And now, I said amongst the body, but think about this. Where do wars and fighting come from an individual's mind? Think about where does a lot of your turmoil and a lot of your everyday struggle and a lot of the things, and this is not people that use wisdom. Think about people out in the world when they go through trials and tribulations and they make a decision. It usually comes from, and he's gonna tell us where it comes from. He said, where do wars and fightings among you? So why do brothers and sisters in the street fight? What do they fight over? But then now look at an individual. What do you fight about in your own conscience and go back and forth about? Right? Watch, read on.
Come they not hence, even of your lust.
Right, he said, don't they come from your lusts? Because they're not coming from the spirit, right?
Right.
Right, you're not warring about things in the spirit to the point where you're not killing each other. Right? We don't war about things in the spirit to where now I want to fight this brother or have a ill will towards him.
Yeah.
These are the things that all the fighting and chaos that come from the ones that don't have wisdom and knowledge, right? And even the ones that do have wisdom, when they step away from it a little bit, it comes from the lusts, the things you have and you don't, the things you have, or excuse me, the things you see others that you want. You see that? You see somebody with something you want, right? Or you feel like you should have it, or you feel like you should have something, so I'm gonna go and get it in a weird way. I'm not gonna wait for the Most High to bless me. I'm gonna go about it by my own means. That causes a lot of chaos and tension and fighting. Go ahead.
Even of your lust that war in your members.
Right. It says that war in your members. So it's this war within, but it's also the war in the members, the body. You see that? Go ahead.
Verse 2. Ye lust and have not.
Right. He said you lust and you have not. So it's like, you know where they always say your eyes are bigger than your belly?
Yeah.
And what usually happens to that type of person? When they do end up getting, like, they usually use that with food, right?
Yep.
Your eyes are bigger than your belly. So you see a bountiful table of food and you're like, oh, I'm going to eat some of this, I'm going to get some of this, I'm going to get some of that. And what you do, you pile that plate on because you see that it's there. You're lusting, you don't really have nothing, but then when you get it, what happened? You can't finish that plate, right? You end up being wasteful, right? You end up just being like, I ate my fill, I took more than I needed, I'm going to just toss the rest of it to the side. You become wasteful, right? Go ahead, read on.
Verse 2. Ye lust and have not.
He said, you lust and you have not. Go ahead.
Ye kill and desire to have.
Now think about it. How many people do you know that have killed for their desires? They've killed. Ain't one of the biggest slogans, get rich or die trying?
Yeah.
Right?
God.
Chase the bag, but I'm going to get the money by any means necessary.
God.
You only live once. You kill and you desire to have, because what happens is a man's desires, if they're not in the spirit, you will kill somebody for that bag, for that money, for that woman. Think about how many men kill for women, for love. Because I'm in love with her, but he's in love with her. That's his woman, but I'm in love with her. I'm going to get him out the way. Right? We were talking about this morning. Who did that? David did it.
David. Yeah, that's right.
David went after his desires, right? David went after his desires, but he did it in a murderous way. You see that? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. and cannot obtain.
And you still can't obtain.
Still can't get.
You still can't. You still ain't getting what you're trying to fulfill your soul with. Think about how many people got money. They went on the evil path, and they got money, they got rich, and they're still miserable. They're not attaining what they thought that money was going to fulfill them with, or whatever lust. It ain't just money. Think about how many. Why do you think you got drug abusers? Because what are they trying to chase? They trying to chase that feeling, right? And they think that every time they hit the pipe, that they're gonna get that first feeling. They're trying to chase that, and a crackhead will kill you. He'll kill you for his next fix, right? No, get the door for her. A crackhead will kill you for his next fix. A junkie will kill you to get high. Push the door open. Right? So he says but you cannot obtain. What are you trying to obtain with the lust? Well, you're trying to fulfill the flesh, right?
Yes, sir.
But the flesh, what's the problem with the flesh? The flesh is never satisfied. So you don't really obtain what it is you thought you were going to get by chasing the bag, getting rich or die trying, getting high as a kite, having all the sex in the world. Think about how many dudes. I remember I met this cat, man. He was a porn star when I was working. He was a porn star. And he was talking about, man, he'd been with over 100 and something women. And he just looked like, man, I'm tired of having sex. And, most men are like, tired of having sex? Like, how? Trust me, you can get tired. Especially if you're knocking down 300-400 women a year for a job, you'll get tired of having sex. You're no longer fulfilled. The flesh can't be pleased. There got to be something. Why you think those guys, they go from having sex with women to having threesomes to having foursomes. Now they're having sex with men. Because they got to try to appease. They got to try to obtain a different feeling. See, that's where that war is created. The war is created by how do I obtain? How do I appease myself? But that's why there'll always be a war. You can't. There is no satisfaction in the flesh. The satisfaction only comes in the spirit, right? So, watch, read on, and then we'll jump to we'll jump over to Romans. But go ahead, read on.
Yet ye have not, because ye ask not.
No, you say you fight and you war.
Ye fight and war.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You'll fight. You'll war. You'll fight with yourself. You'll go back and forth. I got to get baby diapers. So do I go out and sell this crack? Or do I go out and get a job? And you'll have this war in your head like, damn, which way do I go? Which way do I go? Which way do I go? And you'll go sell the crack. Forget about the diapers, because now you want to go get you a car. Now you want to go get you a gun. Now you got to deal with all these other problems because you went down the wrong path. And I'm just using one instance, right? But there's many ways to touch on this James. I'm hitting it on this way because these are the things our people fight with. Like, do I go the spiritual route or do I go the carnal route? Right? And you can't, again, you'll obtain things in the carnal route, but that real obtaining, let me grab onto something that's going to satisfy my soul and carry me to the next step, you don't get that in the flesh, right? And we know that. How do we know that? Get Romans real quick. Get Romans. I want Romans chapter, I believe. No, I want Romans 8. Romans 8 and verse 5. And hold where you at in James. Go to Romans 8 and 5.
Romans chapter 8 verse 5.
Right?
For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh.
And that's where the war comes, because you're worried about the things of the flesh. And it's always a fight. It first starts with yourself. When you can't pay your rent, you don't start lashing out at people and going crazy. You start warring in your own mind. Like, damn, how am I going to get this rent paid? Wait a minute, what do I got? What am I going to do? And you start going back and forth with yourself. Well, I could keep going to work and wait for that, but that ain't going to work. Well, I could go to the pawn shop and sell this, right? You start coming up with all these different ways to appease this flesh or appease this thing you need in the flesh, right? And a lot of the times, what do? You take the wrong route. You take the carnal route instead of taking in the spiritual route. Usually it's just counseling. It's as easy as this, hey, I'm having a problem with this. What should I do?
Come.
Oh, yeah, man, look, boom. And it'll come a different way, but we take the different route, right? And that's where that war starts with yourself. And then there's another war that's created with others. Think about people that can't pay their bills. Think people that are not being satisfied carnally. They start to lash out on people. They lash out at the people around them. So there's a few different wars that are created here that James is talking about.
Come.
Right?
Come.
Read on.
But they that are after the flesh,
Right.
the things of the flesh.
Go ahead.
Of the spirit. I'm sorry.
Right? Read it from the top.
But they that are after the spirit,
Right.
the things of the spirit.
Right?
Verse 6.
I see you, Nicodemus. Go ahead.
For to be carnally minded is death.
See, that's the thing. That's the wars, man. To be carnally minded, is death. That means that war that you're building up in your mind, that's what's killing you. That war, that fighting, that back and forth, that's what's killing you. And then that kills relationships also. I'm going a little bit deeper into this scripture. But you see what I'm saying? That's what dwelling on the flesh does. Right? That's what dwelling on money, dwelling on houses and cars and just carnal possessions, drugs, and dwelling and letting those things be what I want to obtain to. That's where the war starts and that's where it ends. That's what kills people. It tells you about the worry of money. You lose sleep, right? It says that you wake up, you worry, you think about it, and it's true. It's true because you got a lot of those forex traders, man. They put their little trade in, and what they got to do? They got to be on their phone like, oh my God, oh no, I'm losing money. You just had a dude. We were talking about this morning. He was on the little forex or whatever.
The Robin Hood.
And he went $700,000 in debt and killed himself. Yeah, and he thought he was in debt, but he wasn't. That's the thing. He didn't really go all the way in debt like that.
He did.
Thought he was. He murdered him. He committed suicide.
Gotta be Edomite.
Yeah, it gotta be damn Esau. Because Judah would have ate that debt and been like, well, you gotta find me. Right? Judah would have been like, shit, you gotta find me. You gotta find me before you collect that.
God.
But I just read that that's the first thing I read when I woke up this morning.
Me too.
Was $700,000 in debt. He killed himself. But it shows you, to be carnally minded is death.
Yep.
And you bring these wars and battles upon yourself unnecessarily. Go ahead.
But to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Verse 7.
Why? Because if I'm in the spirit, then what do I understand? I understand that the Most High provides in any situation. So I don't have to go out on a limb and do something strange for a piece of change to make it. I mean, come on, man. How many times our car notes been backed up, not having rent, not having school rent, not having this, not having light bill, and it showed up. How many times? But you can't, because I can't pay my car note. Let me run up on Bissonnet and start shaking it, like the one dude in the pink.
Right.
Like the one dude in the pink out there. There's a dude out there. He got the pink thong on. He running around shaking his booty for some money. This is a man, right? He's a boy. But that's the problem. They'll go to these extremes to please the flesh. And that's what's killing us. Go ahead.
Verse 7.
Right?
Because the carnal mind is enmity against God.
It's what?
It's enmity.
Somebody look that word enmity up. Read on. While you read, he'll look it up. Go ahead.
For it is not subject to the law of God.
Right. See, the carnal mind don't care about the law. So where does a lot of the wars and fighting come? Well, it comes because we leave off of brotherhood, sisterhood, communication, counsel before every enterprise. Miss not the discourse of the wise, of the elders. When you leave off the law, because those are the law, that is the law, right? That is the law.
Okay.
To follow the elders, to listen to your elders, to counsel. That's the law, man. But when you leave off that spirit and say, nah, I ain't going to do that. I'm going to just go get it my own way. That's where the death comes in. Think about how many brothers and sisters I could name, or I can count on all 10 fingers and all, how many toes I got? 10 toes, right? Brothers and sisters that we done counsel. And they were like, nah, no. They didn't say nah. They said, I hear you,
That's good.
Kanak, I hear you. That's how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Kanak, I hear you.
I hear you.
Then they go, they move, and they bring all sorts of folly on themselves. And all we saying was, damn, all you had to do was just listen. That's it. Not saying that we know everything, because we don't. We don't know everything, right? But we do got a little experience in this word, and we do have a little bit of a life experience on how to use the word.
Right.
You know, but brothers and sisters, you pull that death to yourself because of just not listening, not wanting to follow someone else's way and not your own, right? It says the way of the fool, it says there's a way that seemeth right to a man, but the ways there are of death, right? So go ahead, read on.
You want that enmity?
Wait, what you got for enmity?
Enmity, a feeling or condition of hostility, hatred, ill will, animosity.
Yeah, you got animosity and hate towards the Most High because it ain't me. It ain't us. And you see it because you don't want to follow the Most High's ways. So what'll happen is you'll call death and destruction in the form of what? Mental anguish, right? In the form of a war inside your mind, in the form of warring with your brother and sister, and leaving off a brotherhood, sisterhood, and just, I think that counseling is a basic thing. We all did it before even the truth.
Yes, sir.
You counseled with somebody. It might have not been the right counsel, but you sat back and you talked to someone. I think that communication is a basic thing that everyone should do because you did it before the truth. Brotherhood, sisterhood, you did it. Now you're just doing it under you're playing for a different team. Right? And it's like as soon as we get on Yahweh's team, it's like, I don't got to do that. I don't communicate. Nah. I don't want them to know my secrets.
Right.
I don't give a damn about your secrets, but I will try to help.
Come.
You see what I'm saying? What else you got for enmity? Is that it?
The state or feeling of being actively opposed.
You're what?
Actively opposed.
Yeah, it's an active opposition to whatever's being brought out. That's what enmity is. So if you're actively opposed to the spirit, you're automatically going to be in the flesh. But what does it say? Read on. Lakarab.
Verse 7. From the top?
No, verse 8.
Verse 8. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahweh.
You can't please the Most High.
Gone.
So now you get to this point where now you're warring, you're fighting, you're going back and forth with yourself, with others. Right? Now let's jump back to James 4 and verse 2. Read it from the top.
James chapter 4 and verse 2.
Right? And when we get to verse 5, that should explain what verse 5 means.
Gone.
Watch. Go ahead.
Verse 2. Ye lust and have not.
Right.
Ye kill and desire to have.
Right.
And cannot obtain.
Right.
Ye fight and war.
Come on.
Yet ye have not.
Yeah, man. You'll fight, you'll war, you'll kick, you'll scream, and you still haven't gotten what you wanted.
Gone.
You'll get what you want and complain. Right?
God.
Yahweh, I need a car. And you'll die, you'll kill yourself at the job. A bazillion hours, right? You'll kill yourself for the car you wanted. Then you'll get that car and what'll happen? You'll cry because you got to put gas in it. You'll complain because you got to maintain it. You'll be mad because the tires popped. You'll be mad because you got to replace the coolant. Because you got to do this. You'll be mad because you got to give a ride. But you asked for the car.
Right.
Right? You asked the Most High for it. He gave it to you, but then you still are not fulfilled in what he gave you. Mm-hmm. Or you asked for a car, and in your mind, you want the 2025 Cadillac. He give you the 1950 Buick. It runs. It gets you back and forth.
Con.
Right? It's good on gas.
Con.
Insurance is cheap.
Con.
It might not be a looker.
Might need a paint job.
Might need a little paint job. But that boy, they call it Old Faithful.
Yeah.
It ain't all the way a hoopty.
Betsy.
But it's an Old Faithful. It gets you back and forth. You're like, damn, this thing rides.
Con.
Right? And what you do? You disannul all the good and look at the fact that it's not the car you had in mind. Now, I can't ride that because that ain't the 2025. Go ahead.
Gone. Verse 3. Ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss.
Wait, and he said, you fight in war, yet ye have not, because you ask not. Now, the not asking is because, first of all, go to Philippians real quick. We got to remember that. We got to be in this mind at all times. Philippians. Yep. Philippians 3. Philippians 4 and 6.
Philippians chapter 4, verse 6.
Read.
Be careful for nothing.
Right?
But in everything by prayer.
Now, it says be careful for nothing. That be careful is talking about anxiety. Meaning be not anxious. But that's a war that we create in our head. That anxiety feeling. Like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And you start sweating and the AC's on. You start losing your mind. You start trying to mastermind every scenario. And what do? You cause yourself to get anxiety. And you start to overthink. And what do overthinkers usually do? They make the wrong move, right? When they go to war, they don't count the costs. They go to the battle the wrong way. That anxiety is that war inside your head, right? You start to talk wrong. You start to move wrong. You make the wrong move. You said, "Be careful for nothing." Go ahead.
But in everything by prayer and supplication.
Ricardo said, "That's my truck." Ricardo got the Old Faithful. Listen,
The Old Faithful.
if you even got another car, Ricardo, don't give up the Suburban. That's Old Faithful.
Con.
That boy, man, he got everything in that truck. That thing moves. Listen,
It pushes.
it pushes, right?
Move miles.
Right. He moving houses in that little SUV. Right. Read that again.
Verse 6. Be careful for nothing.
Right.
But in everything by prayer and supplication.
Right. And that's why he said you don't get nothing because you don't ask. How many of y'all really pray consistently for the things that you want? Now, I get it. I know what the excuse is. I know what the excuse is why a lot of people don't pray. Well, I'm not worthy. Well, none of us ain't worthy. It says, what is clean that has come from a woman?
Oh.
Right? We all ain't worthy. It says our righteousness is as filthy rags. So ain't none of us worthy, but does that stop us from doing what the Most High commanded us to do? Does that stop us from showing the Most High that obedience? Nah, it shouldn't. But some people let it, and it's like, oh no, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. That translates into I'm gonna go get it myself. And what happens when you go get it yourself? 99% of the time, man, it's wrong. 99% of the time it's wrong, and I'm covering every aspect from your relationship all the way through to the vehicle you drive, to the house you moved into, everything, man. The spirit, you got to pray to the Most High for every single thing and in detail, right? And in detail, Yahweh sent me a woman, and He sent you the damn demon. He sent you the demon spawn from hell. Well, you just asked for a woman, right? Yahweh sent me a husband. He sent you the drug dealing cokehead. You just wanted a husband. You wanted a man. You got to be specific. Send me a righteous man that's going to teach me and guide me, and you got to be specific with it.
Yes, sir.
And that's the thing. You're not asking the right way for things. You know, you can't feel bad when you can't feel bad to pray to the Most High. Give me the one, asking you shall receive. You can't feel bad to pray. Get Matthew 6 real quick. You can't feel bad to pray for the Most High. Pray to the Most High for the things you want. You can't let that spirit come into you. That's a spirit of condemnation. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough to ask. Ain't none of us good enough, man. We're all trash. We're all nothing.
You know,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
The scripture also says to prepare yourself before you pray. So, you know, you got to prepare your mind, and then you also got to prepare your body as well, because you don't want to be doing something filthy or in the midst of doing something filthy or in the midst of negative thoughts, and then you're going to try to come to the Most High with a prayer like, hey, can you bless me with this? Can you bless me with that? Nah, it don't work like that. You want to come prepared. You know, it's just like if you was going to meet a king or you was going to meet somebody that had some form of stature that you got to ask a favor of. It's like if you're going to court, you're going to ask the judge for a favor. Hey, can you push my ticket back? Can you dismiss my ticket? You can't come to that judge any kind of way. You got to come prepared mentally, and you got to come prepared you got to come prepared carnally too, with how you look when you face that judge. You got to come prepared with the way you're going to talk to the judge and what you're going to talk to the judge about. So it's the same thing with the Most High. I was looking for the scripture, but the scripture does say to prepare yourself before you pray. So before you pray, prepare yourself. What are you going to pray about? And how's your spirit before you pray so that the Most High can answer it? And what are you praying for? I don't want to jump James chapter 4.
Right.
But
Right. Go to Matthew's real quick.
what were you looking for, Matthews again? Sorry.
Where he says the Father know what we need.
Oh, you knew how to give gifts.
No, that's not.
Is it that one?
No, not that one. No. It says, close the glass, therefore take no thought for these things. Your heavenly Father. Yeah, read verse 32. Matthew 6:32.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 32.
Right?
For after all these things, do the Gentiles seek
Right?
for your heavenly
Right.
Father.
Read verse 31.
Verse 31.
Right?
Take no thought, saying, what shall we eat?
Right?
Or what shall we drink?
Right?
Or wherewithal shall we be clothed?
Right?
For after all these things do the Gentiles seek.
Right. Now, this is not saying not to ask the Most High for anything, because that would be contradictory, right?
Come.
This is saying that your mind shouldn't be fixated on the carnal, on the flesh. Right? Go ahead.
For your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of all these things.
Yeah, he knows what you need. He knows that we need food, water, clothing, shelter. He said those are the principal things for a man's life.
Come.
But he still wants us to pray for him. You still got to pray to the Most High when you want that new casa, when you got to move. What do you pray for? You pray that the Most High opens up that door for you to get in there. That there's no, you know how going to go rent a house is. You got to do 50 million credit checks and 50 million background checks, and you don't make enough, and you pray to the Most High to let that stuff be eased up. He gonna give you a place to live.
Come.
Vehicle, same thing. You pray to the Most High, man. Let me make sure I get a vehicle that I'm not just going after something because it's flashy and good looking. And you pray that the Most High puts that in front of you. Like anything I've ever gotten, man, I always sit back and I say, man, there was always an alternative. There was always an alternative to the things that I've gotten. And the alternative always looks super flashy, right? It looked like the status quo type of thing, right? And then there was always the little more modest alternative option. And you know when the Most High is giving you something, because that modest option at first, you're like, man, it ain't as good looking. But when you get past that, you're like, wait a minute. Okay.
Exactly what I needed.
This is exactly what I needed, because it for what I needed to do.
Come.
Right? Whether it be a rib, whether it be a house, whether it be a car, it's gonna take care of the business that it's there for. I'm not gonna have to do too much with this to get it up and running. That's what I look at. I look at anything I get, man. I'm like, damn, that's the Most High. And I'm glad I was patient. I'm glad I sat back. I'm glad I asked. A lot of times we do, even me sometimes, man, I get in that mind like, man, I ain't worthy. But I gotta come back like, nah, I gotta kick that. You ask, you receive not, because you ask not. Right? Go give me that one, ask and you shall receive.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 7.
And I was gonna answer this question, and I want to jump into the topic that he had. Whatever questions y'all have after this, we're gonna be back here tomorrow for Sabbath class. I'll answer them then. All right, but I definitely want to get into his topic. Go ahead.
Ask, and it shall be given you.
He said what?
Ask, and it shall be given you.
Yeah, he said ask, and it shall be given. Now let's go. Remember the story where the who was it that tapped the arrow 3 times?
That's in Kings.
That's in King. We're not gonna go there, but it was a story. The Most High said, "Tap your arrow, and I'll give you according to your arrow taps." He tapped his arrow 3 times. So what's that saying? He got his 3 taps. When you read that story, he should have tapped that arrow. He should have been tapping.
Yeah, it was about a war. So when he tapped his arrow 3 times, he won
Right.
He won 3 battles.
He won 3 battles.
And after that,
That was it.
that was it.
I would have been
just kept tapping.
He would have won every war.
Yep.
So the Most High, but what is he saying? Ask me and I'll give it to you. Go ahead.
Seek, and ye shall find.
He said what?
Seek, and ye shall find.
It's just like wisdom, man. You seek wisdom, you ask for wisdom. He said he'll give you that liberally. You see that? So it's the same thing where the Most High will give you wisdom. He'll give you knowledge. He'll also give you the carnal things, but there's stipulations to those carnal things. Jump back to James.
Yes, sir. This is James chapter 4 and back in verse 3.
Go ahead.
Ye ask and receive not.
Right.
Because ye ask amiss.
You ask what?
Amiss.
You say you missed the mark. Why you want that car for? Oh, so you can just ride around and burn gas?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you want that's why you want the rib, just for sexual pleasures?
Right.
Oh, that's why you want the gun, so you can look like a tough guy?
You know, it's funny because we hit the Matthew chapter 6,
Right?
where it talked about how these are the things that the Gentiles seek after, right?
Yep.
When we pray and we ask amiss, sometimes it's because we pray and we ask like the Gentile. We asking for the things that the Gentiles want. You know, we come at the Most High like
We ask for
sometimes
their,
the prayer is like it's unfaithful.
we ask for their reasoning. We ask for the things for the same reason that they wanted.
God.
Right? No, but go ahead.
No, I was gonna say sometimes the prayers that we make, it comes off as being unfaithful too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah. Double-minded,
and then
wavery.
Yeah, and then that's where you can ask amiss as well. And then sometimes you pray and you ask, and sometimes you pray and it becomes amiss because you pray with the thought process like I'm owed this.
Ooh.
So you pray and you
Entitled.
come, like you're entitled. So you pray and you're asking like, man, I've been doing this, I've been doing that, and I deserve this. He better give this to me. I mean, shit, I've been doing it. You better give me exactly what I want, but we're not owed anything. We're not owed anything at all. So, it comes back to if you're praying and you're asking amiss, again, you got to evaluate yourself and see, okay, why do I want this? Do I need this? What do I want this for? When do I need it? Do I need it now, or is it something that can wait? All these things got to be taken into consideration, and you gotta when you do pray and you ask for something, you gotta see, okay, what's the Most High's mind with this? Will the Most High just give me this, or is this thing that I'm praying for, is it gonna be detrimental to me? Is it gonna end up being a hindrance to me? So a lot of these things come into why your prayers could be amiss. Why you asking the Most High for something that can come across as, damn, I didn't get it. Where'd I miss the mark? You know what I mean?
James 1 and verse 6.
James chapter 1
Just right on what you're saying.
and verse 6.
Uh-huh.
But let him ask in faith,
Right?
nothing wavering.
What?
Let him ask in faith.
Come on.
Nothing wavering.
So a lot of people miss the mark because they're faithless. They don't believe that when they do ask that they're going to get it. Remember, it says without faith it's impossible to please the Most High.
Yes, sir.
Them that are in the flesh can't please the Most High. Go ahead.
For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea,
Go ahead.
driven with the wind
Right?
and tossed.
Come on.
For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord.
Yeah, you're not going to receive anything when you lack faith. When you're not in that faithful mindset that the Most High said he'll give it and he will. Go ahead.
A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Yeah, and that's the problem. The Most High is not going to give you something if you're unstable. It's pointless anyway.
God.
It's pointless anyway, man. You got to be, it's about being rooted, being grounded. That double-mindedness comes from, that's part of that war that we create in our heads, going back and forth with ourselves. Jump back.
And another thing that I was going to say too, along with the praying aspect, is sometimes we pray and we ask for something, but if the Most High was to give it to us, it's just going to be taken away. It's like the scripture says, give not your pearls over to, don't cast your pearls before swine.
Right.
Because it's going to get trampled. So sometimes you'll pray and you ask for something, but the Most High won't give it to you because you're like a swine. You'll trample over it. So you could pray and ask for a rib, but you won't get a rib. Why? Because you're going to destroy her.
You ain't going to teach her.
She's going to end up worse.
Yep.
You know the truth. You know that you're an Israelite, and whoever comes to you, they should grow tremendously. But that wouldn't be the case for this woman. So you'll get, why would the Most High bless you with a good rib if you're just going to destroy her? Why would the Most High bless you with a daughter of Zion if you're just going to destroy her?
Yep.
Why would the Most High bless you with a car if you're just going to destroy the car?
Take it for granted.
Why would the Most High bless you with a house if you can't manage?
You can't even clean your bathroom. He ain't going to give you a whole house.
God.
You can't clean the bedroom that you're in. He
Why-
won't give you a whole house.
Why would the Most High bless you with a good job if the job that you have now that pays $7.25 or $10 an hour, you can't maintain that job? You show up late. You're not responsible. Why would the Most High say, well done, my servant? Here,
He won't.
you can obtain more. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. A lot of times the Most High wants you. It's like, I'm not trying to ramble here, but it's like getting rank, right? A lot of times you become that rank before you get the rank.
You're supposed to.
Yeah, you're supposed to. So you'll get the blessing when when it shows that you can maintain the blessing. You'll get what you pray for when it shows that you can maintain what you pray for. Because you got a Proverbs where it talks about the Most High's blessing. The Most High blesses you, and He adds no sorrow onto it. So if you pray and you pray for something, and the Most High blesses you with it, but then it becomes sorrowful, it was not the Most High's intention for it to be sorrowful. So you're the one that ended up making it sorrowful. So
Through slothfulness, through lack of care, through taking things for granted, being jaded, through lack of wisdom, we turn the blessings into sorrow.
Yes, sir.
Through lack of maintenance. Right? Where you at? Where you at?
Oh, Salat. I'm back at James.
Yeah.
This fan is blowing my scriptures, man.
No, you're good.
James chapter 4.
Scriptures
Oh,
blowing the
no.
wind.
James chapter 1 and verse 8.
No, James chapter 4 and go to 4.
Okay, James chapter 4 and verse
3.
3.
Right, let's get
Ye
through
ask and receive not.
Right.
Because ye ask amiss.
Go ahead.
That ye may consume it upon your lust.
You see that? It was about your lust. But that's why he goes back. From whence cometh wars and fighting among you? Come not hence, even of your lust. So he's showing, man, why is all this fighting and envy and hatred between brothers and sisters, or even in a man's mind? Well, because of the things that he lusts for. And then you got the nerve to sit there and pray to the Most High, but you got hate in your heart for the next man. You got envy, you got hatred, because you don't have what he has, or you don't like the way he moves, and then you got the nerve to go ask the Most High. You ain't gonna get it. You ain't gonna get it because of the lust that's in you. Go ahead.
Verse 4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses.
Right.
Know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God?
Right. He called us adulterers and adulteresses. Why? Because he been calling Israel adulterers and adulteresses. He been calling Israel a harlot. He been calling Israel the wife that left off from her husband to deal with these other nations, right? Because that's what we did. Go ahead.
And I was going to say too, it's you become an adulterer and an adulteress is the man and the woman version of an adulterer when you're trying to just please yourself.
Yeah.
It's not about pleasing the Most High. So the things that you want, your desires, it's not in line with what the Most High wants. It's in line with yourself. It's like when somebody has a birthday, they want all the gifts. It's like that person becomes a god for that day, right? That's how we act sometimes with things that we pray for. It's like it's just about me. It's just about me. It's just about me. But it's not about the Most High. So in that, it's like, yeah, it's like you committing. Imagine if you're a man and you have a rib, but the rib is just about her. She's not about you. It's almost like she becomes an adult
with herself. But really, and what you're saying is definitely on point. Think about it. He said, "No, you're not. That friendship of the world is enmity with God." Right? And you're actively opposed to the Most High. What is the friendship of the world? We went over this the other day. Go to 1 John 2:15. What is the friendship of the world? What does the world have to offer? Remember when I said the only thing the world is these three things broken down. If you wanted to just ask a person, or if a person came to you and said, "Man, what's the world about?" This is where you go to show them. These are the basics of the world. This is what the world, without wisdom, is contingent on. These things right here. Watch, read.
1 John chapter 2 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
Love not the world.
Right.
Neither the things that are in the world.
Come on.
If any man love the world,
right,
the love of the Father is not in him.
So we know that there's no love in the world. That's first and foremost. There's no real love in the world. Go ahead.
For all that is in the world.
So if you want to be a friend of the world, you ain't going to have no love in you. For yourself, for your brother, for your nation. Read.
The lust of the flesh.
So you're going to be all about the flesh. Here it goes again. Your lusts, the wars, the members, right? What else?
And the lust of the eyes.
And what you see another man have. Man, he got a beautiful rib. How can I get that? Mister, I'm going to Sleep with your woman, right? That's what the world talks about. Trey Songz, ain't he Mr. What's his name? Mr. Steal Your Girl, right? You got what's the other idiot? You got Future bragging because he slept with Scottie Pippen's wife, right? These niggas brag about that because that's what the world is about, the lust of the eyes. You know, when you watch movies like what's the one movie, Menace to Society, and was it Kane? Kane had the little muscle car, the 5.0, right?
Con.
And he seen the other dude in the drive-thru with the 5.0, but his rims was more banging than his. What he did, first thing, he stuck him up. The lust of his eyes caused him to commit murderous acts towards his brother. Ain't that what happens in the streets? I see you with it, I want it, I'm gonna kill you for it. Look at my guy Pop Smoke, the way they killed him. They seen a stack of money on Instagram. They seen some clothing from some expensive little store. They got his address. They ran up and got that money. The lust of the eyes. A nigga see you balling, they see you living well. What do they want to do? They want to snatch that from you. That's what causes these wars and these fightings amongst us. Right? I was watching a video. Ah, man, it was sickening. I was watching, it was Sakari. They were out there where the bro got shot in Atlanta. They were right there at the little drive-thru. Bro, tell me why they start drinking. They out there like literally drinking and getting high, right? Got Hennessy out there, and brothers out there street teaching.
Yeah.
The brothers didn't have it, but the people.
Yeah.
His family, they were out there just getting faded. Bro, next thing you know, what they start doing? They start trying to run each other over with cars.
Wow.
In the parking lot. They got drunk, they start fighting. I guess his brother was getting faded and the emotions overtook him, and he just started wilding out on people. He started running over the whole memorial, like all the Vigilite the candles. He just took his car and just started running over stuff. You got babies out there. Why? Because that lust to drink and to please the flesh. Now you start to, even in a time where you're supposed to be mourning the life that was taken innocently, right? Niggas is out there trying to fulfill their lust. They know that the cops ain't gonna mess with them. So what they gonna be out there doing? Drinking and smoking. Fulfilling that lust. But then what does it breed? It breeds that. Now, you gotta watch this video. It was sickening. I was so sick, I was like, I wouldn't even be able to teach right there. Because for one, they wasn't listening. It got to the point where they were just so oblivious to what was going on. The one bro, he just like, man, yeah, he gave a mic. He gave a mic up because he was sick to his damn stomach. They had to send brothers over there to break the fight up. Think about that. They had to send brothers over. Like, okay, y'all go over there and break it up. Because they was out there wild. I'm talking about kids out there, little ass babies. And they just ripping the car through the parking lot. Why? Because they getting faded, they getting high, trying to appease that flesh, and it brings on these type of spirits, man. Right? Let's read on. Let's finish it up.
And the pride of life.
Right? And the what?
Pride of life.
Yeah, and pride, man. The pride of life. I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud of this nation. I'm proud to be Black Lives Matter, homosexual. I'm proud to be an Afro-Negro, whatever you want to call yourself. Just pride in general, right? I'm proud of me because I made it out the hood. No, the Most High got you out the hood. I'm proud of me because I got this job. I made it through college. No, the Most High did that for you. The pride of life. That encompasses all the things that you take pride in, that we shouldn't be taking pride in. That's what America is built on. That's what the world is built on, is putting pride in oneself. And because what does that do? When you put the pride in you, what does that do? I said it.
You take the glory and the attention off the Most High.
You take the glory from the Most High. And now you're the glorified one. Ain't that what the white man does? That's when you should have put in your class the other day. Pride, man. How the white man is so proudful.
Yep.
That's how you know you're a damn heathen. Why? Because you don't believe in the Most High to the point where you'll give him the glory for anything. Or for everything. That's why he said in all things, prayer and supplication. Supplication, that's asking. That's what supplication is. Let me make a supplication. Let me make a petition. Let me ask.
God.
All things.
And you know what's funny about asking?
Right.
Like what parent don't like when their child comes to them to ask them for something?
Yeah.
Like even if it's for advice.
Yeah.
It don't always gotta be, hey, I want this, I want that, I want a car. It's not. I want toys. It's not always that or food. It's like, hey, Dad, I was gonna make this move. What do you think? Hey, Mom, I'm going through this.
Yep.
What do you think? This is what I'm dealing with. Like, what parent don't like that? Like, all parents like that.
And the Most High loves it. It shows that we
even more.
It shows that we trust Him.
God.
It shows that we have faith in Him and that we know that He is the one that's going to give us all things.
God.
But when we go about it this route, wars and fighting. Watch. Go back real quick to James 4. Let's finish it up. And let's move on. Move on. That was the guy brother that right. It was the guy's brother that got killed. He was out there bugging the hell out, man. Getting faded, driving the car reckless. It was a sad sight.
So that's the one that ended up getting killed.
No, the guy's brother.
Yeah, but
The bro that got shot in the back of the drive-thru.
Yeah.
His brother was the one that was out there doing all that nonsense.
So is that brother the same one that ended up getting killed later on?
Another one got killed later.
Yeah, one of his brothers got killed.
Bro, I wouldn't doubt it.
And said that he.
Like, this just happened last Saturday.
Yeah, his brother got killed.
What?
I wouldn't doubt if it was because he was in that gas station bugging the hell out. I mean, listen, usually when we out there teaching, we'll talk and we'll teach and we'll throw scriptures and whatever the hell they do, it's like hold your posts, right? Don't move, just teach. They had to let brothers get off the line to go damn break up the fight. They was getting so reckless because of the fact that there were kids there. It wasn't to just go break it up. One of them kids almost got ran over. Like one of the brothers had to grab the baby out the way of the car. They start pushing the car forward. The baby was right there. He had to run and grab the baby. I was sitting there in amazement like, this ain't our people. But then again, it is our people. Because why? It's these things. It's lust, it's envy, it's hatred. It's never am I going to believe in a higher power other than myself. And we see what that gets us. When y'all get a chance, look it up. Just look it up. Just look at I forgot the title of the video, man. But the crazy thing is, them brothers were there teaching and filming, and it went down. There was no news camera. It was no news or nothing. That was the brothers teaching and recording. Yeah. And they turned that, you just hear, no, F that. I'm going to get my gun. And then, like, what? And then you hear cars. Like, I was sitting there like, whoa, crazy. And you got kids there. That was the main reason why they sent brothers in. Like, man, go get these kids. Go get the kids out the way, because ain't nobody giving a damn about the kids. Grown women and men fighting while their kids is about to get ran over.
And what sucks is not to justify what Esau is doing, but it's stuff like that where we give
them the ammo.
We give Esau the ammo. So like it's funny. We as black and brown people, we always see what they put on the media, the agenda that they're trying to push. But Esau knows the backstory. Esau knows the information as to why such and such, because nobody ever perished being innocent. Not to take it off the point, but Esau always know the backstory.
They don't.
And then when they start bringing out these backstories, they might bring a little bit out on Fox News, but where they really bring it out is these white supremacist websites. They'll bring all that stuff out, and then they on the white supremacist websites, and they seeing, okay, Trayvon Martin, he was sipping lean. He was going to that gas station to get lean and get this and get that. We was in the system, and then they feel like it's justified.
He was justified, yeah.
So when you look at this video, if they get a hold of that video and they show it to their people, they're gonna be like, see, look,
we're justified in killing them.
Look at them.
They're animals. They're monkeys. They're dogs. That's why the scriptures say that the nations walk by hissing and wagging their tail. Is this the beauty of perfection?
God.
Hell nah. Not the way we move. But anyway, let's jump back to the point. Go ahead. Verse 4.
Right.
You adulterers and adulteresses in James 4:4.
James 4:4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High?
Right, go ahead. Now, verse 5 is kind of going to sum it up. Read on.
Whosoever, therefore, will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High.
Read.
Do you think that the scripture said in vain?
Right.
The spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy.
Now let's take it to Paul. The spirit in us lusteth to envy. Why? Because just like when Paul was going back and forth, the things that I do not. The things that I do not, I do. Right? Oh, wretched man that I am. The spirit in us, it does lust. Because we look at the things around us and we like, man, I want that. I want that. But then there's also a conscience in us that's like, let me serve the Most High. You see that? But it's that constant war. See, wars and fightings amongst you. It's that war in your members. It's that war in your mind that, I'm going to say this, it don't always have to be a war. Paul went through it. And we all go through it. But I think that the more we understand and the more that we put our minds in none of this crap matters, it won't have to be a battle. The more you don't give a damn about something, the easier it is to not care, right? Or the less attention you give something. When something does happen, the more you're like, well, you knew that was going to happen anyway. I wait for things to just break down and not work and go crazy and catch spirits. I wait. I sit back and wait and understand that as quickly as it came is as fast as it can be gone. Right? And not to let that be the motivating factor. That no matter what's going on around me with the carnal possessions, a rib, kids, my mode has to stay the same. Those things will always be there. And they can be there for a benefit or they can be there for a distraction. Now, it just depends on how a man's mind is set. A lot of men get distracted off the little small things. Rib act up, right? She say something weird. Brother just loses his damn mind. Like, oh my God, it's like, wait a minute, why are you losing your mind over that? Just let that play out, right? Let that play out. You hold yourself diligent and your house won't be overthrown. But if you start falling to that point of the flesh where it's like, let me chase after that. Let me dive into that. Let me follow after her emotions. What's going to happen? Because the spirits, there's parts of us that want to do that. It's in everybody's spirit. But as we kill that old man, what was Paul doing? What man was he killing? Daily, when he said, I die daily. He came back and said, oh, wretched man that I am. He was killing that wretched nigga. That was trying to be on the opposite side of the spirit. That was trying to lust. All the way to that envious point where it was, let me be covetous. Let me be an adulterer. Let me follow the world. You see that? Yes, sir. The spirit wants to be sometimes out there with them. I know it's like, no, not me. No. Yeah, it does. You know why? Because even David had to check himself. Being the mighty man that he was. He said, I almost slipped looking at the prosperity of the what? Of the wicked. Because sometimes you do sit back. You're like, man, how the hell are they making it? Why isn't the Most High, man, cast judgment on these cats? On these damn homosexuals? On this faggot nation? I'm not calling them queers. They're faggots. I'm sorry. I'm not being politically correct with that at all. You know what I'm saying? You look back and sometimes you look at not a person's lifestyle, because I don't envy a faggot's lifestyle. Right. I don't envy anyone's lifestyle. But you do have people that are young in the spirit, and you see certain things that a lifestyle brings. And you're like, man, I want that. But you don't want that lifestyle. But some say, well, man, the only way to get that is to go to that lifestyle. I gotta be the rapper. I gotta be the drug dealer. I gotta be the faggot. I gotta be this. I gotta be that. I gotta sell my soul to get something in return. But when you come back and you bring it back to wisdom and the spirit, right? You say, wait a minute, I can't, like David. Whoop, almost got me, Satan. Jumped that hurdle. Almost got me, right? Oop. Spider-Man, right? You get your balance. And you're like, nah, you ain't gonna get me. Because those things don't matter. I might not have a Bentley, but I got a car. I might not have a 30,000 room mansion like Rick Ross. I got a crib. I got AC. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. That's where you got to put your mind at. And then if I don't have that car, am I going to just be assed out because I don't have that car? No. I'm going to be able to get around. If I don't have that house, am I just going to be on the street butt naked and poor and broke? No. Most High said he never seen the righteous begging bread. So that's where we got to always put our mind and not let our spirit look at the things that are outside of us and want to try to grab onto that. Because it doesn't. I'm sorry, it does. And not just carnal things. You lust to pride. You lust to hatred. You lust to envy. You lust to murmuring. You lust to backbiting. Like your spirit is like, let me murmur real quick. And you catch yourself murmuring. You're like, oh, damn, why'd I do that?
Yeah.
Or you start getting prideful. You're like, oh, wait, dang. My spirit just led me into a prideful moment. Because why? There's a part of us. There's a part of us, man, in that war that always wants to lean to the left-hand side. And the war is to always autocorrect. Nope, get back over to the right. Nope, get back over to the right. Get over there. Right? Killing that old man. Paul said it best. O wretched man that I am, who shall bring me from the body of this death? Right? Well, the spirit is the only thing that can keep you away from that death.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You got that now? God, let's get into this topic. Let's get into this topic. No, I love, bro, those are some of my favorite scriptures, man. Those are some of my favorite scriptures the day before he was acting crazy with the camp. Yeah, the day before that, the day before he was old boy's brother, he was going crazy on the camp because they were out there the day before that. He was going crazy on them. They were like, bro, we here with you. He was wilding out, but again, they out there with dark liquor, Hennessy, smoking weed, thinking that it's a damn party. It's the same thing they did with Alton Sterling. When we went out there and we was teaching, they threatened to shoot us. They out there driving around smoking weed, getting faded. We out there teaching. They talking about they about to go home and get guns. We was like, okay, we gonna be right here teaching, and we didn't leave. And then we did the
sad
diplomat.
thing is they'll get guns on us, but they won't get guns on.
They won't get the guns on the cops that killed Alton Sterling, but you'll pop us. But that's our people, man. Hypocritical, weak-minded, weak-spirited, hatred towards your brother. It's easy to hate the nigga that look like you. That's the problem. Anyway, let's get into this topic. Shatak, what are we dealing with today? What's today's Friday topic?
Well, today's Friday topic is forgiveness.
And let me say this. Usually on Fridays, for those, we don't broadcast online because Virginia, we're trying to make sure that they get their views up and subscribers so they can go live. So we let them do the Friday online. So usually here in class on Fridays, we just do strictly questions. All right? But we're going to kind of go into the mode of questions and still having a topic on hand for brothers and sisters. So y'all are going to be privy to this little topic that we're going to go over, and it was forgiveness, right?
Forgiveness.
Right. What was the title?
The importance of
Yeah, the importance of practicing forgiveness. And we're going to just go through and hit a few scriptures on just that. Why is it important to forgive? And I'm going to say this. I'm going to intro and then let you come in. This right here, this topic of forgiving, this is one of the hardest things for some Israelites. Is to forgive. And who to forgive. Because you'll forgive, but you'll forgive the wrong people.
Right.
And you won't forgive the right people. And you think that, I'm forgiving. Right? You'll hold these grudges. You'll hold this hate. And I firmly believe, just through experience and through just reading the scriptures and experience, that a person that can't forgive, they never ever will obtain the life that they are seeking. You'll never ever get that loving relationship, but from a husband-wife standpoint, from let's say it's a mother that's an unforgiving person. She got the lack of forgiveness spirit. You'll never have a good mother-child relationship. You'll never have a good husband-wife relationship. All your relationships will have some sort of schism in them because every relationship gets tested, right? Through a trial, through a tribulation. But if there's no forgiveness in you, what's going to happen? It's going to leave a little notch, a little stain on your brain for you to go back and look on and say, see, that's why I can't trust nobody. See, that's why I don't talk to women, because I just can't trust them. That's why it is. That's why that. And you'll always go through life trying to have these relationships, and they'll be trash. They'll be garbage relationships. And you sitting there wondering why. Like, I don't know why. Well, it's you. Not the other people. It's you. Because forgiveness is is literally, think about it. It's like the cornerstone of what the Most High is doing for us.
Con. It is.
It's the cornerstone. Like, he had to forgive us before we could take any step or anything. He had to say in his mind, I forgive Israel. Now y'all could come back, right?
Yep.
So it's very important. Watch, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like it's my class.
No, yeah, all that is definitely on point. Because holding these grudges and having this unforgiving heart and keeping these blots on your spirit, because that's what they are. They're spiritual blots.
Hands up here. Go ahead. Don't
In all your relationships, it'll poke its head out. It'll come out at you in some way, some form or another. Like it's like when you eat bad food. Those toxins get into your flesh and you sweat that out. Yep. You might be thinking that you're doing good and you're eating clean or trying to put up a front of it, but then your pores give you away. That sweat that comes out of you gives you away. And it's the same thing with your relationship and your dealings with people. And it doesn't matter if you're dealing with a friend, a brother, a sister, a co-worker, you'll still have this unforgiving spirit where you're like, someone will become like this, and then kind of spiritually you'll go like this to them. Like, hey, nah, I don't trust you. I'm not messing with you. Right. But it's not even that person that did it. But they might have a form or an attribute that reminds you of someone that had hurt you in the past. Right. So I'm just going to get a definition of forgiveness. So forgiveness. Psychologists generally define forgiveness as a conscious, deliberate decision to release feelings of resentment or revenge towards a person or group who has harmed you, regardless of whether they actually deserve your forgiveness. Forgiveness is more for you than it is the other person. That's facts.
Damn.
It helps you more than it helps them.
It's crazy. I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
That's really cool that you said that, because it's true.
It is.
It is true. Because you're the one that carries around that burden. You're the one that can never free yourself and move on, because you're always holding on to that baggage.
And it's the baggage that you assumed because of a hurt relationship from someone else, whether it's a family member, friends, co-worker, someone that you dealt with in traffic. It can be something so small and insignificant, but you're bearing that burden. This person cut me off. Man, I hate all Houston drivers. But it's like, damn, it was just that person that cut you off, not all of Houston.
I'll definitely cut you off.
Right? He's the guy that he'll cut you off, and then he'll go slow approaching the light because it's red, and he's letting the car roll until it turns green. You're like, I'm trying to get somewhere. But that's forgiveness. Forgiveness is releasing these feelings and these emotions. I'm going to go past a little bit of this. We can get Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 18. And this is on who we forgive. This is touching on who we forgive, because you know what? The dude that got his throat nailed on, I'm sure his family don't forgive the police officer. And it's like, damn, he just killed my brother, or my uncle, or my son.
Wait, you said they don't?
Well, they might.
No, they definitely do.
Oh, they do?
They definitely will forgive. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's
the problem. That's the problem where
who you forgive.
Think about the brother that got killed in Dallas.
Want to hug the cop.
When they ran up in his house and they shot him, right? The cop shot him in Dallas. The Levite bro, I forgot his name, but then his
Gene?
Yeah, Gene. Then his brother went and hugged the damn cop that shot him.
Oh, damn.
He went and hugging her up. They got the judge stroking her hair, brushing her hair. Like, our people will forgive.
Yeah, that don't make sense.
Our people will forgive our oppressors and our killers. Niggas will forgive. Like, you think Mike Brown mama ain't forgave them cops? Especially when they hit him with that settlement? Come on, man. Our people will forgive the enemy.
But they won't forgive their brother.
they'll forgive you for taking a life. You'll forgive. They'll take they'll take your family member's life, and you'll forgive them. But a brother owes you $1 from 1978, and you'll hold a grudge all the way till 2020,
Con.
and want to actually kill him for $1. That's our people.
You know, and even on that hits on the Stockholm syndrome, because you still look at the oppressor as someone that's on this high pedestal. So it's like, oh well, his mercy, I can be merciful to him because he's merciful to me. I'm allowed to live in this country and serve him and wipe up his poo and clean up his houses and build his houses and his mansions for him. You know, it's the Stockholm syndrome. But then when it comes to your brother, it's like, oh man, he ain't nobody like I ain't nobody. I don't gotta forgive him. I don't gotta do nothing for him. I don't gotta be charitable towards him. So you're more able to fight and grudge with someone that you feel is closer to an equal to you, versus someone that you feel is superior to you. Because if you thought that the white man was actually down here, or at least right here, you wouldn't feel the same way that you feel about him. Instead of looking up to him, you'll be looking more down at him, like, yeah, dude, you're a Neanderthal. You came from apes. Yeah, the whole evolutional theory was only with you and nobody else. But look, I'm gonna get this scripture right here, and this is gonna go into who we forgive, because the scriptures say who we're supposed to be forgiven. Leviticus 19 and verse 18.
God, this is Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 18. It says, "Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people."
Of who?
Against the children of thy people.
So we're not supposed to be grudging with each other. We're not supposed to be bearing this hatred, this animosity. Yeah, I know our people. We can be off, wicked, stubborn, stiff-necked, hard-headed, rebellious. Got to be told 50 million times. But we're not supposed to hold this grudge, because the Most High don't hold the grudge with us.
God.
Look, read it from the top.
Verse 18. "Thou shalt not avenge."
It says, "Thou shalt not avenge." Look, the Most High is saying, I'm going to take care of this. You keep your heart pure, loving, beautiful. Keep yourself light. Don't keep yourself weighed down with these burdens of grudging. Like, oh, I got to get him back. He did me. This brother, I loaned him a headband. He never gave it back. Wait till one of his garments is made. I'm going to just slip through before he can even grab his garment, and I'm going to take his headband. I'm going to steal that. So I can get it's not even stealing, it's just getting back what's mine. And the brother's like, dang, I have my whole garment. I paid for it. Where's the headband? And sister's like, oh, it was right here. Everybody trying to let you know, like, dude, it was right here. I don't know what happened to it. But that one envious brother took the headband. Or even with sisters, coveting a piece of garment or a piece of cloth. I heard about that back in the day, coveting pieces of cloth. Or in a relationship. Oh, well, he makes me feel this way, so I'm gonna purposely create and design a scenario to make him feel the way that he makes me feel. That's holding that grudge.
So it's like, if you, like in the world, she cheated on me, so I gotta cheat on her.
Right. Tit for tat. Eye for eye. Railing for railing.
Right, which is all the things that the scriptures say for us not to do. Right. So where y'all at?
We're in Leviticus 19:18. Read on.
"Nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people."
But what are we supposed to do? Because it says we're not supposed to grudge. Read on.
"But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself."
Yeah, man. We got to have love for our people. Look, coming out of Egypt, living in this American society, being brainwashed, having our minds beaten into subjection to think the way the heathen thinks, having our minds destroyed, because when the scripture said that you'll have a yoke of iron around your neck until you're destroyed up here. That's where we're destroyed at. So our mind is destroyed. The Most High is like, look, you got to love. You got to forgive the hurt. You got to come back and love your neighbor as yourself. And the Most High, he goes through and he's teaching us these things through the scriptures.
Now, why did he say, as yourself? Well, he was reminding us that you're going to be put in the same predicament that that instance was going to be pointed on you.
Yes, sir.
You know, a lot of us get high-minded and over-righteous and super on a pedestal that you can do no wrong. Or that you will do no. I've never offended a brother in my life. Nah, you've committed many offenses. You've committed. We all are going to offend one another, especially being so close-knit tight. We're all going to do things in every relationship. Husband and wife, brother and brother, brother and sister, sister and sister, father, son, son, daughter. You're going to do things in relationships that people are not going to like. It's going to hurt their feelings. It's going to be offensive. It may not be offensive to you, but it is to them. Like, it's going to be all these different scenarios. And, you know, forgiveness, obviously we know forgiveness works two ways. Mm-hmm. Right? You got to ask for it. Then it got to be granted. Right? But what happens when you're asking for it and you got a person that's like, yeah, I forgive you. But in their mind, they're like, wait till 6 months from now when you need something. I'm going to be on that ass. Right? What are they building up and storing up in themselves for a later date? Well, we know that that avenging spirit, I think did we talk about that on Wednesday? About avenging? That was, yeah, about that, about the vengeance is not for us. Think about it. We can't take vengeance on our enemies. How you going to take vengeance on your brother? But we're so quick to take vengeance on one another, and that's why we leave ourselves open for the attacks from the enemies, man. That's why the white man don't got to work too hard. Esau ain't got to work too hard to keep us down. We do 99% of the job for him. All he do is walk around and make sure we keep doing it. All he does is walk around and make sure that he shoots somebody in the back, a black man in the back real quick to keep the hate going. How do we fuel the fire? Oh, let me just shoot this black man. How do we fuel? Oh, let me choke this black man out. These niggas are going to hate each other. Watch. They're going to stand there in solidarity. Black lives matter, right? Black fist up. Everybody standing there hand in hand, arm in arm. Right. But as soon as you step on my chucks, I'm going to hate your ass. We all out here running and rioting, right? But as soon as you step on my damn Jordans, now I got a problem with you. Or as soon as you steal the TV that I was looking at, now I got hate towards you. Nigga stole the big screen.
Steal the TV.
Nigga stole the big screen that I wanted, damn it. Yeah. He went and got the pairs of Nikes that I wanted. Now that hate. When we was rioting, you stole it. Or when I was locked up, you slept with my. Or when I did this, you. Right? And we never. It's funny, man. We're the only ones that can't put down. It's like we can't put down hatred. It's crazy. Like we don't know how to drop that gun of hatred that we just cling to so tight. But we only aim it at each other. That's the crazy part. He said, bear no grudge against the children of thy people. Right? Read it one more time.
I am. It's like verse 18.
Right?
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Right?
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Yeah, because this is a form of hatred. Mm-hmm. Grudging, avenging, you show that you hate your neighbor. You hate your brother. You hate yourself. Everything you do towards the next man is a buildup of what's going to happen to you. That's what you niggas don't understand. You give alms, you storing up for the day of death. You nourish hate, you storing up for your day of your death. So if you want to keep putting negativity and thinking that you're going to get something positive, like I'm a firm advocate and believer that you can't put something negative and get something positive. It don't work like that. Yeah. You put negative, you reap what you sow.
Yeah, you get what you put out.
You get what you put out there. That's whatever. I don't give a damn what you want to call it. Universal law. I call it, that's the Most High's justice, man. That's the law of just life. What you plant in that dirt, That's what's going to grow.
So does that, how is that applicable to when you're offended? Well, I don't want to use the word offended.
Right?
But if you do something negative towards another, that forgiveness is positive. You get positive back when you forgive.
Yeah.
But what if you, I mean, I know you have to ask for it.
Right?
It doesn't necessarily have to be granted right away.
It should be. Forgiveness should be granted right away.
Should it?
Yeah. Because if not, that's how you open yourself up to grudge. That's it. It takes one little, I ain't trying to hear you out. Why you think when you go to Matthew 18, it tells you as soon as something happens, you go to that brother. If he hears you out, you gained a brother, right? And I skipped a few steps, but you go to that brother. If he don't hear you, you bring it up to them. You bring some witnesses.
It's in here.
Right? You got it in here?
Mm-hmm.
Right, he's going to go to it, but I'm just paraphrasing it. But why do you think at the very end when it says that if he don't hear you out, count him as a heathen? Yeah, because there was not supposed to be the man, I ain't trying to hear that. So if your brother offend you, how many times you forgive him? 70 times 70. We got to stop thinking that because I know you did something towards me, I got to wait for you to come to me to say sorry for me to forgive you.
Time.
Hell nah, you're supposed to be already like, man, what did Yahweh Shai say? He said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Right?
No one asked for forgiveness.
Nobody asked for no forgiveness. They thought they was right in their mind killing Christ.
Mm-hmm.
But, and he said it perfect. A lot of the times things happen and people don't even know what the hell they're doing. They're oblivious to the wrong that they're doing towards a person. Or they just don't know, or they're ignorant. Paul, when he was killing Jews, when he was slaughtering and making a killing of all the Jews in them churches, did he know what he was doing? No. When he asked for forgiveness, did he get it? Hell yeah. But he said it. He said, I was a blasphemer. He said, I did it. He said, I was a blasphemer and a murderer in ignorance. He asked the Most High for the forgiveness. The Most High gave him the forgiveness. But wasn't he forgiven before he was forgiven? Yahweh Shai already forgave him. That's why he came to him. Paul, why kickest thou against the pricks? Wait, is that you, Lord? Yeah, now go and do this. Yahweh Shai was already in the mind that, man, this guy's ignorant. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Let me show him a better way. Now, if he rejects the better way, that's when it's like, okay, I'm going to forgive you, but I ain't messing with you. You can forgive a person and kind of keep a distance where not being naive.
Or not deal with them in certain arenas because...
Yeah, or certain arenas.
Like, I know you're bad with money. You messed me over countless times when it came to money.
Right.
So, and when it comes to finances, you know, I forgave you on it, but we just can't really deal
on the
finances.
Yeah, I'm not going to put you in that realm. You know, you got a person that steals. Okay, I forgive you, but I'm not going to leave money around you. Or leave myself open to be stolen from in that way. If money is your demon, then, or alcohol, or whatever it is, you can forgive a person and still be around that person. Look at Yahweh Shai and Judas, man. Have I not chosen one of you 12 and one of you got the devil? He knew what Judas was doing the whole damn time. He said he knew what was in the hearts of men. He knew Judas was a thief. He never called him out on it. Did he forgive him? Of course. He even let him keep doing what he was doing more to convict his spirit into a change. He never changed. But Yahweh Shai didn't sit there and every day blaze into this guy. Oh, you just wicked. I can't be around. Like, he gave him a chance. And the way that situation went, it had to go like that. You know, but we don't have to sit there and if I know that you got a problem with lying, or, hey, let me borrow some money, and you got a gambling problem, and I find out after the second time that all you're doing is taking the money and gambling, but you said I need to borrow some money to pay my rent, I'm not going to give you the money. I'll be like, okay, nah, bro, we ain't doing that. You got pill problems, I'm not going to give you the money to buy pills. Nah, I'm not going to be the one but I can forgive you for the lying. You see that? I'll forgive you for that and still deal with you in different arenas like you were saying. So there's different levels, but we think that, oh yeah, I forgive you, and then you cut a person off. That's not forgiveness.
No.
That's not forgiveness, because how can you ever see if they were sorry? You got to have them back around you, right? And you kind of got to open yourself up a little bit to be what?
Offended or
To be wronged, to be offended, to be brought low. You have to put yourself in these arenas, but you can still be careful. But we are supposed to forgive right away.
God.
You don't have to wait for a person to come tell you that you're sorry. Your forgiveness is not contingent on their apology.
God.
You see that? Go ahead.
And, you had said, Lakara, you had said something that made me think about scripture. It wasn't in here, but it goes good. Ecclesiasticus chapter 19 and verse 13. 19, 13.
Is that admonish your friend?
Yeah, admonish your friend.
Mustafa said it right, though. There's way too many believers that don't keep this commandment. Yeah, you got way too many Israelites.
So,
They don't know how to keep Leviticus 19, man. They don't keep this commandment at all. They breeze past this one like it ain't there.
God.
Like, forgive. Nigga, nah. I'm about to... You burn me once, it's a wrap. I ain't never ever talking to you again. I'm going to look at you like you a heathen.
I like how you say it's a commandment, too, because it is a commandment. It's one of the laws.
It's one of the laws.
For all you Old Testament only, don't believe in Yahweh Shai, this is a law. You're supposed to not grudge. You're not supposed to be contentious. But what you got for me, Psalm?
Ecclesiasticus chapter 19, verse 13.
Go ahead.
Admonish a friend. It may be he have not done it. And if he have done it, then he do it no more.
Yeah, like you might... And this is going to go perfect with the next scripture that I'm going to be bringing out. But he might not even know what's been going on. And then you like, hey, and you forgave him and said, hey, look, you did this, really didn't appreciate that, and I'm just kind of letting you know what's going on. And they're like, oh, well, my bad. I'm not going to do it again. Sorry, I didn't know that I offended you in that way.
God.
But you had already took the first step to forgiving them.
God.
And then you just admonished them, which would be correct them. Read on.
Admonish thy friend.
Oh, yeah. What's the definition of admonish?
So admonish just means to warn or notify of a fault.
Yeah.
To counsel against wrong practices, to instruct or direct. So when it says to admonish a friend, you're pretty much just letting them know, hey, this is how I feel. This is what's going on. You're notifying them of how you feel. Because a lot of times, one thing we got to remember too is not everybody is on our level. So just because you're better at reading somebody spiritually, it doesn't mean that they can read you spiritually as well. So because you might be able to tell if somebody's upset, but that person might not be able to tell if they're making you upset or if somebody else around them is upset. Not everybody has that gift. Everybody's working on different things. So that's just something to keep in the back of the mind as well.
Perfect. Read on.
Admonish thy friend. It may be he have not said it, and if he have, that he speak it not again.
Read on. Oh, well, and it's just going on. It's just going on saying like, maybe they did something unawares to you, but you're the one holding this grudge. It may not have been malicious or deliberate. Like, I do things a lot of times undeliberate. I'm not being malicious in the way I move or I think, but a lot of times I don't react the way people would say in a certain situation a person should act like this. I might not react like that. Yeah. Somebody might come through with a duffel bag full of hundreds and drop it off, and I'm like, oh, cool. You're not happy, excited? Like, I am. That's cool. We got a lot of money for school rent, for this, that. But I might not just jump out my chair. And I might offend someone because I don't turn up or respond the way that they feel like I should respond.
Yes. No. No, that's actually very on point.
So, a lot of times we can offend or rub someone the wrong way and not even know we're doing it. So that's what these scriptures are going into. Keep going.
Admonish a friend.
Read.
For many times it is a slander, and believe not every tale.
Yeah, someone can just be spreading rumors, tale-bearing. You know, there's a lot of tale-bearing when it comes to a history of people's families. And when you start getting into the genealogies and families and the bad blood between different family members, it's a lot of hearsay. It's not facts. A lot of times it's hearsay. Oh, I heard that Uncle Lincoln did something was messing around with Aunt Cheryl, and then Aunt Cheryl was messing around with Cousin James, and then Cousin James was actually the son of Uncle Lincoln, and then the reason why that grandmama don't like them is because it's like it just keeps going and going and going and going. And then you don't like these people, or you have these kind of feelings about these certain family members because of all the hearsay. Bro, it's folklore. It's hearsay. You don't know what really went down. Nor should you hold a grudge about what went down in the past about something that didn't really concern you. Or even if you caught a backlash of some of it, you really don't have the full story. So why hold on to the grudge or bear hatred towards people that have nothing to do with you directly? You're just hurting yourself. And not only hurting yourself in these things, you're hurting the people around you, you're hurting future relationships, and you're hurting current relationships.
I wanted to hit this person's question real quick. They said, can admonishment be nonverbal, right? So, can admonishment be nonverbal? In a way, yes, but think about it. You definitely want to, if you're feeling some type of way, you don't always want to just show it. You want to actually talk about it and communicate it. That way, it can all get fixed. Because remember, the devil's in the details. It says that the Most High is the author of peace and not of confusion. So
look up the word admonish one more time for me.
Oh, and I got the definition to communicate. Can I hit this real quick?
Yeah.
So the definition to communicate, it says to impart as knowledge. So because you were saying, can it be nonverbal? But the reason why you will want to communicate it is the definition of communicate is to impart as knowledge. So you will want, you can give somebody a look on your face or a shoulder shrug, or you can give them a nonverbal cue, but they're not going to get the knowledge as to why. You want the person to have the understanding as to why this upsets you or why this is making you feel a certain type of way.
Yeah, because that's first of all, that's what happens in relationships now. Right? Wife, your husband does something, and what does a woman automatically do? Instead of what they say in school, let's use your words.
Use your words.
Right? What does she use? Her damn emotions. She uses her head's movements, her eye movements. She uses her body motions. Right? She don't talk about it, and then when it's like, let's talk about it. No, I don't want to talk. You know what's going on. It's like, nah, tell me what's going on. No, but you know what's going on. And it's like, but I don't know what the hell I did. No, you know what you did. Well, okay, tell me because I don't know.
Or I might have an idea of what I did, but I'm not 100% sure.
But we're not here to read minds. So can admonishment be nonverbal? No, you have to. First of all, go back to the scripture one more time where it says admonish. Watch this. Read it.
From the first.
Read it from the top. Yep.
Admonish a friend.
Right.
For many times it is a slander.
Right.
And believe not every tale.
Go ahead.
There is one that.
Sorry, verse 13.
Yeah, start up.
Yes, sir. Admonish a friend.
Right.
It may be he have not done it.
Go ahead.
And if he have done it,
right,
then he do it no more.
Go ahead.
Admonish thy friend.
Right.
It may be he have not said it.
Right.
And if he have, that he speak it not again.
Go ahead.
Admonish a friend.
Right.
For many times it is a slander.
Right. So the only way to get the point across is to sit down and talk.
Come.
If a person offends you, you go to him. Remember, it said that that brother hears you. You gain a brother. So you have to talk things out. Like, we got to stop doing the I'm giving him nonverbal cues and he ain't getting it. You're damn right. I don't read minds. Now I read demons on people. Right? When your body start contorting and you start catching an attitude and slamming down the dishes and slamming this down and making this and rolling your eyes, I'm like, okay, you got a spirit on you. That still don't tell me what's wrong.
No.
That still don't tell me if I did something wrong.
It don't tell you why.
It don't tell me why. It just tells me that you're aggravated and you're a child. You don't know how to speak about it. That's so yes, nonverbal cues. We gotta get up off that. That's what the world taught us, to be nonverbal. Nonverbal verbals. Verbalites. Non-verbalites. Non-verbalites.
You know, what's the one word that you always hear Esau says? Like, say two Edomites go at it, right? They don't like physically fight, but they talk mess about each other. What's the one word they always say? They always say, "Oh, it was just a misunderstanding."
Yeah.
We just had a misunderstanding. That's all. Black people don't really say that. You know, Israelites.
It's always like that nigga was tripping.
Yeah, he was tripping. But you know, sometimes we hear the word misunderstanding and we don't consider it. It's a misunderstanding. That means that the contention arises from two people not understanding something, either each other or something that was happening. It's a lack, and that's why I said the Most High is the author of peace and not confusion. Misunderstanding is confusion. You weren't on the same point. That's where the devil can get in. Okay. So you always want to make sure that, especially when it comes to contention, and that's something that our nation deals with on a whole, this non-forgiving spirit. You definitely want to speak on it so that that person can understand where you're coming from. You can understand where they're coming from, and then it can be squashed. Because if you just give a nonverbal cue, then nothing really gets. You kind of like just leave it up in the air. It's like if you get a text message, you text somebody, you didn't hear that person's tone of voice, you didn't see what they look like, so you could read that text message the wrong way. You could be like, "Oh man, she is really feeling me," but she's not. Or you could be like, "Oh man, he is not feeling me," but he is. You don't know. So when you send a text message, it just leaves everything open where it's like you don't really know for sure. So if you give a nonverbal cue, it's the same thing. The person don't really know for sure. Yes, they might have an idea or an inkling, but they don't know 100%. So why not make it be known 100%?
I'm gonna act like I don't know a damn thing until you tell me. I'm sorry, I don't deal with nonverbals. That's worldly. Cause that's just attitude and emotions. Yep. That's all that is. It's attitude and it's emotions. There's no edification in nonverbal cues.
Oh man, see, the scripture says let everything be done unto edification.
Yeah, let all things be done unto edification. There's no edification in that. Anyway, go ahead. Let's read on. Let's finish it up.
And who is he that have not offended?
I don't need that. Go to your next one.
So from there, give me Matthew chapter 5 and verse 23. And this is going on the point of, continuing on the point of who we're supposed to forgive. We're supposed to forgive our brothers, our sisters, our nation. You know, not holding these grudges, bearing these grudges. And I want to go here after hitting these admonished scriptures, because sometimes somebody had done something to you, or you did something to someone else, and it just hits your mind later on. You could be driving down the street and like, dang, I did kind of deal with this brother a certain way. You know what? Let me hit him up. Or you know what? Oh, I did kind of deal with my wife a certain way. Or I dealt with my husband a certain way, and man, I shouldn't have been so disrespectful. Let me hit him up. It might not be at the exact same time it happened. So like when it comes to admonishing, like it happened and then you admonish right then on the spot. But it might be an afterthought. You're recalling events. Read where you're at.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 23. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother hath aught against thee.
And you do what?
If thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest.
If you rememberest. Sometimes there's things that we've done, either because we're moving quick, we're moving rashly, or we're not in the present, in the moment, thinking about or considering who we're with or who we're dealing with, and we might offend, or we might even have been offended. But this is going on the point of you're the offender. If you remember these things, if it comes to your memory, you can be heading to class. You can be heading out to go do some holy righteous work for the Most High. Dang, you know what? I did act this way towards my rib. Let me hit her up. Make a quick call. Hey, babe, you know what? I know I slammed the door when I left the house. I was upset because you were doing this, and this. Using your words, communicating. Or rib. hey, babe, you know what? I know I didn't even make no dinner, and I purposely left your sandwich out on the counter uncovered because I was upset with you. It's like, dang. Oh, the husband might not even tripped on it. He was like, oh, she left it out. I forgive her. She wasn't thinking. She was probably tired, long day. I'm going to still eat it. But you might remember and say, dang, I didn't do that. I purposely did that. You know what? Let me go make that right. Let me not leave that in the air. Let me not leave it up to interpretation. Read on.
Leave there thy gift before the altar.
Go ahead.
And go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift.
Yeah, you reconcile. Be reconciled with your partner, your brother, your friend, your spouse. Because if you're not actively thinking about or considering how you treat people or how people treat you, look, I don't even trip so much on how people treat me, because for some reason I got this thing in my brain that it resets with people, especially if I already like you. It's like, yeah, oh, crapped on me, delete. Did this to me, delete. It's weird with my brain, because when I love till the end. Like, there's people I don't even deal with no more that I still love. Not because I don't want to deal with them, just because they don't want to deal no more because of the truth or whatever. But I still have this delete button in my brain. And I keep forgiving. And then brothers and sisters, we deal so tightly knit with each other. We offend. We offend all the time with each other. Sometimes it's knowingly, or a lot of times it's unknowingly, because I'm not going to say that there's malicious brothers and sisters in the camp. So, but if I had done something, and I'm thinking back on the events, I'll hit somebody up and say, "Hey, man, I didn't mean it the way I brought it out. I really meant it like this, but it kind of came off like this. My bad." So that's what the scripture is going into. Also from there, give me chapter 5 and verse 8. Because when we're continuing to hold these ill wills, these grudging feelings, it's going to continue to fester in you. It's going to fester, it's going to mold, it's going to turn into hate, you're going to turn into Cain. You're going to turn into a heathen like the class like Rob was dealing with. Read what you got.
James chapter 5 and verse 8. Be ye also patient.
You got to be patient with one another, knowing that, hey, we're all in here fighting together. All of Israel's fighting together, and we're trying to clean up these different spots and imperfections in our spirit. We got to be patient with one another. Read on.
Establish your hearts.
Go ahead.
For the coming of the Lord of night.
Because the Most High is coming. Yahweh Shai is coming. So we got to be getting ourselves ready. And if we're holding these grudges, if we're not forgiving, then how are we going to expect Yahweh Shai, when he pierces the fourth dimension, to have mercy on you, to forgive you?
That's the one that when Father, I've done in all thy name, I've cast out devils. I've taught in thy name. But did you forgive your brother? Flee from me, you wicked and slothful servant. I never knew you. That's going to be the one that get rejected at the door. You did everything. You rocked the fringes. You cooked the meals. You washed the saints' feet. But there was one little thing you didn't do. You forgot to forgive your mama. You forgot to forgive your mama. You held a grudge with your brothers and them. And then you stand before Yahweh Shai like, yeah, take me, accept me, forgive me, bring me in, and he's gonna be like, nah, I never knew you. That's the risk you run of trying to hold on to this hatred that's in you. Go ahead.
You know, there's people that continue to grudge, continue to be unforgiving, and the person that they were unforgiving with died. Then what? Then they say, "Oh man, I wish we could have squashed that beef that we had. Dang, I wish I could have reconciled with them. Dang, I wish we could have just sat down and talked." man, it's too late now. And then you go on.
Yep.
That unforgiveness, that spot, that blemish on your spirit is now just there because you can't let it go. It can't even be released with the person that had that offense towards you, that you've been having this grudge with, that holding this unforgiving spirit with. They're gone. I don't know. I've heard it a few times. Some of y'all heard it more than I've heard it. Some of y'all also has actually experienced it yourselves. A man dies, and says the man that you had this unforgiving spirit with had wanted to make things with you, make things good with you over a period of time, and has actively made steps to go about reconciling with you. But you're the one holding the grudge. You're the one being unforgiving.
No, man, bro, I got a perfect one.
Perfect scripture?
Because this is what Israel deals with all the time.
Come on.
What does like 75% of the 12 tribes of Israel deal with? And what we deal with is that father not being in our lives, or that mother not being in our lives. So a lot of times, our parents, they were young, dumb, ended up having a child that they weren't ready to have. That child ended up being you. Your mom and dad, they have a dispute. Your father, maybe he just knocked your mom up and just never was there. Or maybe your father and your mom had some type of disagreement. They separated, and the father's like, you know what, I don't want nothing to do with the child since we separated. Or she holds the child against the father. But either way, you grew up without your father, or you grew up without your mother if it's flipped. And, for whatever reason, you grow up without one of them, and you're growing up and you don't have that figure in your life, and you always hold on to that. So now when you're older, your father or your mother, they come to their senses. They're like, damn, what I did was wrong. Hey, I want to be in your life. How can I get in your life? And you're like, nah, you was never here when I needed you. You wasn't here when I was young. I don't need you now that I'm older. I don't need you at all. You can keep doing what you've been doing. And a lot of times, man, a lot of our people, we never forgive that parent, that father, or that mother that did us wrong and that left us in that situation when we were young. And that's one of the biggest plagues for Israel, because a lot of times, that person, that parent, they mature. Not all of them, but a lot of times that parent does mature, and then they mature in their thinking, and they're like, damn, like, I messed up. And then they'll be scared to go to you because they think that you hate them, or they just can't get in touch with you because you're not even giving them an opportunity to get in touch with you. They call, you don't answer. They show up somewhere, you act like you don't see them. Like, that's not the right spirit to have. And that's one of the biggest things that plagues our people is and the white man counts on that, is that we don't forgive our parents, because we forget, especially being Israelites, we'll forget that our parents, they're the product of Deuteronomy 28 as well, just like we're the product of Deuteronomy 28. So
yeah, and that's a stronghold on our people, that unforgiving spirit. God, it has our people by the privy members, But think about it. If you consider, even if you don't forget, you never forgave this person in your past, like Rob brought out, like a parent that wasn't there for you. You've dealt with countless amount of people in your life. You've had jobs, you've had positions, you've made mistakes, and you've looked for mercy and forgiveness in your folly, in your ignorance. But you can't forgive someone else for their ignorance. You're 10 times harder on someone else when mercy has been shown to you repeatedly, over and over again. It's like you blow off the mercy and the grace that you've been given, but you still hold that grudge and unforgiveness with the other person. Continue reading.
Verse 9. Grudge not one against another.
Go ahead.
Brethren, lest ye be condemned.
You see, be what?
Lest ye be condemned.
Because who's going to be doing the condemning? Yahweh Shai, the Most High. All this is taken down in a book. There's angels all around here, recording all of our movements, holding an account every word, just like the person in the courtroom that types every word that everybody says in the courtroom.
Did y'all answer this question that Kaya asked?
She just sent it in.
Oh. Go ahead.
And they're recording everything that you're doing. And you're like, oh, they still don't forgive. How many times they've been forgiven? They're like calculating angel speed though, quicker than faster than the speed of light. Yeah, 18,657 million times they've been forgiven, but they won't forgive that one time that person did to them. Oh, they won't forgive that.
Let me hit this real quick. It says, I have a question on the topic. What if you had a grudge against a person, but they pass away, and neither one of y'all tried to fix the issue? Would that be held against you? Now, are you talking about a person that, let me say this. A lot of our people don't know that it's wrong to hold a grudge.
Come.
So, the scriptures say, he that knew if the master's will and prepared himself not was beaten with less stripes. He that knew the will and prepared himself not was beaten with many stripes. He that knew the master's will and prepared himself. I'm misquoting it. Go there real quick. Luke 12. I'm misquoting it. Right. I mean, either way, there's going to be a check from it. Now, if there's an Israelite holding a grudge, like if I got a grudge with this bro and I wait and he got to die for me to, because ain't that how it always usually goes? Like he dies. I had a beef with him over 2 cents. You know what I'm saying? He borrowed my lawnmower. He borrowed my lawnmower. When he gave it back to me, it wasn't working no more. That always happens with lawnmowers for some reason. But he borrowed my lawnmower. When I gave it to him, it was in perfect condition. When he gave it back, it just stopped running.
Right.
Because we forget that it's mechanical and that they work when they want, right? But I held it against him. Like, nigga, you broke my mower on purpose. Right? And I wait 30 years all the way till he dies.
It's like, man, we are fighting over nothing.
Man, we fought over a lawnmower, right? But no, that he dies and I go to his funeral, like, man, I see his son, like, I want my lawnmower. I go to his son for my lawnmower. Right. Now, if I'm an Israelite doing that, come on. Go to James real quick. We were just in James, right? Go to James 5.
Yes, sir.
Go to James 5 in the last verse, in 5.
James chapter 5, verse 16.
Right?
Confess your faults.
Go to 4 in the last verse. I'm sorry. James 4 in the last verse. The last verse in James.
James chapter 4 and verse 17.
Right.
Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good, and doeth it not.
Yeah. If I'm an Israelite grudging, I know that I shouldn't be doing it. Go ahead.
To him it is sin.
Yeah, it's a sin. I'm gonna get checked for that. Now go to Luke. 12 and 48.
Luke chapter 12 verse 48.
Right.
But he that knew not, and did commit things worthy of stripes, shall be beaten with few stripes.
Right. So you got a lot of our people that don't know that grudging is wrong. They still gonna have to be accountable for it from the Most High.
Still gonna catch some stripes.
They still gonna catch some stripes. Go ahead.
For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required.
Right. So you got to see it, man. Like when you drive to a whole other state and you break their little driving laws.
You can jump up to 47.
And you break their laws and the cop pulls you over like you made a right turn on red. And we don't do right turns here in this state on red. They give you a ticket. They're not like, oh, well, here's a warning. They're like, nah, nigga, here's a ticket. You should have knew the laws. Right? You can't go to a state and break their laws. They're like, well, he just didn't know the laws, officer. Nah, they give you a ticket more times than they'll give you a warning. So the Most High, he'll give you those warnings, though. He'll show you not to grudge in different ways. But our people, the Most High speak once, the Most High speak twice, yea, twice, but men perceive it not. So we'll get the warnings once, twice, we don't perceive it. And what happens? Somebody gotta die. Right? That's when you want to bring the roses to the damn funeral. Bring me the roses before I die, man. Come talk to me. Maybe we can work it out. But yeah, either way, there's going to be an accountability. Right? Jump back.
Con. We're
Lawnmowers.
James chapter 5 and 9.
Scuffed up my Nike. Go ahead.
James chapter 5 verse 9. Grudge not one against another.
You know why I use little petty things like that? Because our people are petty as hell.
Con.
Brothers be petty as hell. Like, oh, the brother borrowed my girdle. Now I hate him because he didn't bring it back 30 years later. You know how many things I got borrowed from me, I ain't seen it back. I actually knew I wasn't going to get it back. And then got something better in replacement. But you still harping on the one raggedy little piece of garment that was made. Now you got a whole illustrious closet, walk-in closet as big as a damn room, full of garments and clothes. And you still crying about the one set of armbands from 1950. Brother, borrow my armbands, huh?
Those were classic armbands.
Yeah, those were my classic 1950 armbands. Like, nigga, you grudging about that?
They were one of a kind, handmade.
Right.
They're all handmade.
No.
Well, you see my point? Our people, it'd be the dumb, like, why'd you shoot him? Because he looked at me. Like, what? Or why'd you do that? I just don't know why I did it. Oh. I thought that our people grudge over it and hold things in esteem that have no value. And that's where the grudges come from, man. Go ahead.
Grudge not one against another, brethren, lest ye be condemned. Behold, the judge standeth before the door.
Yeah, you better watch yourself. Holding on to those old family feuds, bad blood, hatred between friendships, brothers, sisters, people in the camp, co-workers.
Especially of your own people, man. That's where it's sickening, because niggas will forgive Esau in a microsecond. You will stick your nose right in between his crack. He'll call you a nigga, a spick, a bitch, right to your face.
Yep.
Don't call me no bitch. The white man calls you a bitch all the time. Excuse my language, but I gotta say it because it's true. And you'll feel like, well, he's giving me a paycheck. He's giving me a paycheck. Like, let me act like I didn't hear that. Yeah. But as soon as your man is like, man, you're acting like one. You're like, see, you called me a bitch. I can't be with you. You're disrespecting me. Like, we're supposed to be Israelites, right? Like, what? He said you're acting like one. He didn't call you one, but the white man will call you a dog.
Yep.
And show you that you're a dog, put you on stripper poles, pimp you out to your face. Right. And you'll be like, yeah, well, pays the salary. Let me bow down to him. Let me forgive him. He'll call you a nigga to your face, man. And you'll be ready to kiss his ass. But as soon as your brother looks at you, and he's looking at you damn, you look like somebody I know, man. What's going on with you? Nigga, what you talking about?
Yeah,
ready to kill you. Like, yeah, bro, I was just saying hi.
Right.
You look like this cat I knew.
God.
Niggas be so on edge with each other. But let the white man roll up. Hey, Tom. Hey, buddy. How's it going, Mr. Ferguson? And you just all chipper and like, what the, like, come on, man. It's sad, right? Oh, Sambo, what they say? Oh, Sambo Negroes, right? You're ready to dance a jig for the white man. You ready to dance and hip scop and do all that for these white boys? But you won't even bend down to give your brother a cup of water. You won't even, you'll like I've been watching like a lot of these street speaking videos. You'll crap on the brothers that are out there. Not saying anybody online is doing this, but our people, they'll crap on the ones trying to show them a better way. And the white man the white man walks up, the white cop walks up to a black boy and shakes his hand, and it's like, see, we need more of that.
Right.
We need more love in the world. Like, what the hell are y'all talking about?
Exactly.
Love. The white man ain't got no love.
Yeah.
How many times? I'm not gonna go in there. Come on. Yeah, I'm not gonna go ahead. Go ahead, man.
Hey.
Read, bro.
He
get more heated than it already is in here. Go ahead, bro.
He feel like he blazing the streets right now. He blazing the airwaves. All across the internet. All across YouTube.
I'm gonna shut
Feeling
up.
the fire of Quatzazap Ash.
I got nothing to say.
Hold on.
No. Bring the battle out.
Don't
go battle.
Tag me in. So check this out. So I got one that I seen on World Star Hip Hop. It's with the 16-year-old chick that's a prostitute. I watched like 2 minutes of it. I couldn't watch anymore. But you have an Edomite man sitting there interviewing her. She's 16. She's a prostitute. She's telling you she has a pimp. She's telling you that her mom and dad had a very abusive relationship. So when she was 7 years old, her dad beat her mom and killed her. Then her dad ended up getting sent to jail for like life or something like that. So she was like, I was close to my mom and my dad, even though they weren't good with each other, right? So they ended up she ends up being by herself at the age of 7, being raised by her uncle. She starts prostituting at the age of 13, right? She ends up having a kid. Bro, she sleeps with 10 men a night at the age of 16. She's sleeping with 10 men a night. You got Esau there like, yeah, I just want the interview. I just want to get this so I can throw it up. And
show how garbage.
He's like, oh yeah, well I hope you change your life. Again, I didn't watch the whole thing. I couldn't watch the whole thing. But again, it goes back to what we're saying, because you're like, you could be like, well, the white man don't call me a bitch. He don't call me that. But when he does stuff like that, that he's calling the whole race. He's calling the whole 12 tribes that. He's showing that. He's bringing that out to light. Because guess what? He ain't gonna do nothing about it.
Right.
There's lots of videos like that where they're off what Skid Row in California, or in Oakland, California, where he has lots of videos where he's just interviewing these people, and he's just putting it out there online. And he's making money off of it, but he ain't helping none of them.
Nope.
So had to point that out too, man.
Con, and you won't hold a grudge against him. You won't hold a grudge against this man. But to your brother, your sister,
your family,
you're gonna hold this grudge. You're gonna hold this festering sore that's just oozing and gushing of pus and blood and
it ain't oozing, because what it is it's the people that have these things in them, they try to cover it over, and they smile a lot and they're like, yeah, I'm good, and they cover it over with a lot of Band-Aids, and they cover it and cover it and cover it, but it never quite can heal. It's not healing because you're not letting that be eradicated from your spirit. You holding on to that stuff inside you, man, and it's just rotting you from the inside out. It starts to, I love situations, because situations bring things out of people, and it shows you what's really in you. You know, and that's why we go through the trials, the adverse times, to prove and show what are you really about. And a lot of us do gotta do a lot more forgiving and working on forgiveness and just loosen that from your body. You'll actually have a better relationship with your husband. You'll have a better relationship with your children. You'll have a better relationship with your wife. You gotta forgive. You gotta really tell yourself, like, man, I'm not gonna let what happened in the past be the catalyst for what's gonna happen in my future. Right? Go to hold that real quick. Just go to Ecclesiasticus. Let me just throw this one in here. You got that? Refuse to lend. Ill dealings.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, go to Ecclesiasticus. We haven't hit this one in a while. It's in the
10.
It's 29, I think. Yeah. It's 29 and verse 7.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 29 and verse 7.
Read.
Many therefore have refused to lend for other men's ill dealing.
Right, and that's what happens, man. You put yourself in a box where now you don't want to. Now this is talking about lending, you know, in context. This is talking about actual lending stuff, like let me borrow your broom. Well, nigga, the last time you borrowed my broom, you broke it, so no. Now, people don't want to lend themselves. Think about how many scars you got from them whack-ass relationships that you jumped into. And then now, you get into this relationship with a Hebrew Israelite man or a Hebrew Israelite woman, and you don't want to do the same things you did in your first relationships now, because you're scared. Now you got your guard up. In the first relationships, you was naive, you was dumb, you was young, You was just going with the wind, right? He said jump. You didn't even ask how high. You just jumped.
Yep.
Now, your husband says believe, have faith. You like, nigga, faith. The hell is that? I put my faith in the person already.
Right.
And he burned me.
Right.
Well, you got to get rid of that. You got to get rid of that mind state and understand that this is a totally different situation. This is a totally different situation where you got to use wisdom now. You weren't using wisdom in those first relationships, so of course you was going to get burnt. If you lay with dogs and you catch fleas, who's to blame, right? Who shall pity the charmer when he's bitten? You want to play with snakes, you're going to get bit. So ain't nobody going to feel sorry for that, but at the same time, you got to realize that was the situation, right? You mess around with foolish things happen. Got to understand now, wait a minute, I'm in a different, Most High put me in a different arena. I still got to give myself, but now I got to do it with wisdom, with knowledge, with understanding, with discretion, right? And the people that I'm dealing with, they use wisdom, knowledge, understanding, discretion. This is the mind state. It's about thinking your way through these things and not bottling your mind up into a clamshell and saying, well, no, I already went through that, so I'm not going to go through that again. That's the natural, sensual, earthly, devilish. Get that one for me. That's the natural response for a human. When you get hurt, to not what? To not what? When you get hurt, what do you try to do? You try to avoid that hurt. When someone hurts you in a situation, think about people, they get in relationships, they get burnt, they get all crushed, baby, I'm begging, I can't eat, sleep, dream without you.
Right.
Right? What does a nigga turn into? A player. I don't want no relationships.
Yep.
He tries to avoid
the hurt.
That hurt by all costs. Right? But that's carnal. Give me that. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Read it.
James chapter 3, verse 15.
It's James, right. I'm sitting right, and I'm actually sitting right here too. Go ahead, James.
Go
ahead.
James chapter 3, verse 15.
Read.
This wisdom descendeth not from above.
Go ahead.
But is earthly.
See, it's what?
Earthly.
What else?
Earthly.
What else?
Sensual.
Yeah, you dealing with now your senses, man, and your damn emotion. Go ahead.
Devilish.
Is what?
Devilish.
See, that's the devil. That's the devil playing with your mind. Saying, nah, sis. Don't give yourself like that because you just don't know. You know what you got to do? You got to vet him. You got to check out every little instance. Go through his stuff.
Right.
You better be careful.
You better be careful.
Look out for yourself.
Watch out for yourself. You know what they did in the past. Nah, bro. Nah, you can't trust nobody because you know how the last niggas did you. Right? You know how that last camp did you. So you got to watch it, man. You got to be on guard. Guard your grill. Right? Stay on guard. Right? And what you do, you roll around like, nah, Heisman. You give everybody the Heisman, right? But then the wrong people you embrace.
Yep.
The niggas they'll mail weed to your house and you're like, oh, you got me kicked out my apartment? Thanks. Love you, brother. Dude will smack you across your face, kick you down the steps while you pregnant. Oh, you beat my ass? I love you, babe. Right? And you'll I love you, babe. Tighter. Right?
God.
What the hell? But a brother's like, oh no, sis, no, look, babe, no, let's go here. Let's deal like this because if we do that, then we'll inherit the kingdom. Let's pray together. Right. Let's believe in the Most High. No, I don't want that. You trying to take advantage of me?
Right.
Yep.
You just trying to pimp me with the Bible. Like what the hell are you talking about? Pimp. Pimp.
Right.
It's like, man, we trying to show good, and it's like, no, you see. You just trying to deceive me with the word. You just trying to use the Bible to get over.
Right.
Nobody doing that.
No.
Gotta be careful.
It
said it's devilish. What else?
It says. Oh.
That's it. Remember, Satan be in the little crevices, man, waiting.
Right.
He waits for that evil suspicion. He waits for. He's an opportunist. Right. He's gonna make sure he magnifies the wrongs that were done in the past. And he's going to make situations line up like, damn, this is deja vu. The same way it happened 10 years ago, it's happening now.
Right.
Let me put my guard up. Nah, I ain't messing with y'all.
Right.
And instead of taking 2 steps forward to the light, you take 3 steps backwards. And you wonder why you can't grow. You wonder why you ain't making it. Right. You wonder why the Most High don't love me. Well, you got to step towards him. Go ahead, man. Where you at? Jump back. I'm sorry. Let's one more scripture. Let's end it. It's 8:20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go. You got to go to the one.
Yes.
Which one? I got a lot of them.
I know. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus. Come on, man. Stop it. Let's go to the one. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus 29. Ecclesiasticus 28.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because this is what it boils down to, man. The Bible commands you to forgive. The Bible commands you to forgive if you didn't know that. These are commandments. Once again, go ahead.
Verse 7, sir?
Verse 1. Ecclesiasticus 28 and verse 1.
Yes, sir. Ecclesiasticus chapter 28 and verse 1. He that revenges shall find vengeance.
He shall what?
Find vengeance.
Yeah, and this is what happens, man, when you can't forgive. You start to look to avenge yourself. You start to look at a way, how do I appease my flesh? How do I get back at a person? But it said, you going to find a vengeance from who?
From the Most High.
From who?
From the Most High.
And that's what it's going to boil down to. The Most High is going to make sure that you get what you thought you was about to dish out. Go ahead.
And he will surely keep his sins in remembrance.
Yeah, you better not try to pray. That's why a lot of y'all don't pray. Because you know damn well you vengeful as hell. You got vengeance in your heart. So you know as soon as you ask the Most High, he going to be up in the spirit like, nigga, you tripping. You ain't getting that. Try again. Drop your gift at the altar and go make amends. Read.
Forgive thy neighbor.
Do what?
Forgive thy neighbor.
Your mother. Who else?
Thy neighbor.
Your mother.
Thy neighbor.
Your brother.
Thy neighbor.
Your father.
Thy neighbor.
Your sister.
Thy neighbor.
Your husband.
Thy neighbor.
Read on.
The hurt that he have done unto thee.
Because that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
All the hurt that you've experienced in life came from ignorance. Y'all know that, right? It came from neglect. It came from your parents not knowing how to parent. They thought that throwing a bottle in your face and rocking you to sleep was a parent. They forgot that. Wait a minute. They were supposed to parent you from the age of 12 all the way up. From the age of 1 all the way to now.
Right.
They were supposed to be parents. Our parents left off when you can talk, walk, and damn make your own toast. Like, oh, he could cook for himself. All he could do is warm up toast. What the hell are you talking about?
But is it toaster?
Yeah.
Just press
Oh no, he could make toast. He could make Pop-Tarts. He's good. Now you left to the wolves.
Right.
The hurt is gonna come from your neighbor, your brother, your sister, your family, especially if they ain't dealing with this word. They don't know how to love. Don't y'all get that? They don't know how to be a brother. They don't know how to be a sister. All they know how to do is perpetuate folly. Go ahead, read.
So shall thy sins also be forgiven.
Go ahead.
When thou prayest.
Read.
One man bear hatred against another.
Right.
And doth he seek pardon from the Most High?
Yeah, like how can you even fathom asking the Most High that you've never seen for pardon, but you hate the brother that sits next to you. You hate the husband. You hate your mother. You hate your sister. You hate your father.
I hate Wesley Snipes gums because they
I
black.
hate Wesley Snipes gums because they black. Right? Hate your gums because they black. Go ahead, read on.
He showed no mercy to a man.
He shows no what?
No mercy to a man.
See, and this is where it gets real dicey. When you start being in that vengeful spirit, you know what you're telling yourself and the Most High? That you're better than somebody. Now you're casting judgment down on a person.
Right.
You're like, nah, nigga, I'm better than you. I ain't got to hear you out. I ain't got to forgive you. I'm better than you. I ain't never going to make mistakes. But what does the Bible say? Read.
He showed no mercy to a man,
Right?
which is like himself.
Which is what?
Which is like himself.
Yeah, you're the epitome of that person. You are the person that you are grudging against. You got some damn nerve.
Right.
How dare y'all? How dare us? I used to hold grudges. I used to be that guy. Oh yeah, I used to plot ways on how I was gonna get you back. But I learned, like, man, that's an exercise in futility, man. Like, it don't get you nowhere, but ulcers and stress.
That's right.
And ultimately, the Most High stops hearing your prayers, man. The Most High stops dealing with you because of the way you want to deal with your people. You got to remember, man, again, we all in here got knowledge. We all in here know who we are. Everybody online, y'all know who the hell y'all are according to this Bible. Whether you know a lot or a little bit.
Right.
You know a lot more than the people in your family.
That's right.
You got tons more. You done forgot more than they ever learned with the little 10 scriptures that we got. You done forgot so much compared to what they know. You are supposed to be the epitome of forgiveness. You can't run around talking about you believe in Yahweh Shai and got a grudgeful heart when that man died for your wicked ass. He didn't, and when I say your wicked ass, I'm talking about all of us. He died then so you could live now. Knowing that you was going to be hateful, knowing that you were going to be grudgeful. Think about it. He died knowing that you was going to be everything against the Bible. Think about that. Think about that level of forgiveness. So we don't got the nerve to sit back and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to just hold a grudge and front like I forgive you and act like it's all good. Yeah, I'm good. You good. I hate that. Yeah, you good? Yeah, I'm good. You good? We good, right? We good. Everybody's good, right?
And nobody's good.
Ain't nobody good because your whole spirit is dirty, filthy, grudgeful, hateful, murderous. You so good, you'll sit back and watch your brother suffer because you don't want to have nothing to do with him because he wronged you. You'll watch your family suffer. You know how much wrong my family done did to me? And I'm just like, man, bruh, y'all are ignorant as hell. Let me show you a better way. Read.
And doth he ask forgiveness of his own sin?
Go ahead.
If he that is but flesh,
right,
nourish hatred.
He's warning you right here. He's putting you back off your little whack high horse. You're just flesh. You're just flesh, man. That's it. But if you nourish hatred in your flesh, go ahead.
Who will entreat for pardon of his sin?
Yeah, who's gonna be there on your account when you mess up? When you do the exact same thing you was mad at somebody for, and you mess up, who's gonna entreat for you? Yahweh Shai won't. Most High is gonna be like, well, look, cast him to the wolves. You slothful servant, I knew you not. Flee from me. Read on.
Remember thy end.
He said, do what?
Remember thy end.
Yeah, you better consider yourselves, man. We got to be more considerate of ourselves. Read.
And let enmity cease.
And let enmity. What is enmity? Open opposition, right? Let open opposition cease. You can't hide your grudge. That's the sad part. Niggas be trying to hide the grudge like, I'm going to just bottle this down. You can't hide it. You can't hide it. You can't hide the grudge with your family. You know why? Because now when it comes to dealing with your husband, you let that little bit of hatred leak. It leaks out where it's like, damn, what you want? The nigga to be beheaded because he did something wrong towards you?
Right.
Like, what you want? An arm? A pinky? What? Like, it's like people want blood before they can forgive. It's like, okay, so are you ready to give blood when you mess up? A lot of us ain't. Gotta be careful, man. Read.
Remember corruption and death.
He said, do what?
Remember corruption and death.
Yeah, what corrupts your mind and what's gonna kill you fast? All that grudging. What they call it? The elephant on your back? The monkey on your back? The monkey on your shoulders?
Right.
All that heaviness you feel, all that, oh man, I'm tired and I'm weary. That's all the hate in you. That's all the grudging that you've been having from when you learned how to grudge from your mama, right? Because your mama taught you how to be a grudgeful little hateful person.
Yeah.
Your papa taught you how to be a grudgeful. Now I ain't messing with your uncle because he such and such and such and such. My pops is like that. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Right.
You're a grown ass man. What are you saying?
Right.
I ain't messing with this person because this, that, and that, and the third. Now go talk it out. No, I ain't messing with him because he's this and he's that. But you the same thing.
Right.
You point out all here's flaws, but you the same exact way. Read.
And abide in the commandment.
Wait, what does the commandment say? Right back to Leviticus 19. Bear no grudge against the people of your nation. Read.
Remember the commandments.
Go ahead.
And bear no malice to thy neighbor.
Right.
Remember the covenant
right.
of the highest.
Right.
And wink at ignorance.
He said, do what?
And wink at ignorance.
Because all that hurt you feel comes from ignorance. Not always of your own. But some of it is of your own. Being ignorant, what does he do? Go to Acts 17 and 30. Being ignorant What happens when you ignorant? You make folly. You commit ignorant sins. You do things in ignorance. You hurt people. You get hurt. Now watch, read.
Acts chapter 17, verse 30.
Right? Go ahead, read on.
And the times of this ignorance.
Read up to the next verse, 17:29.
For as much then as we are the offspring of the Most High,
Right.
we ought not to think that the Godhead is like unto gold,
Right, go ahead.
or silver,
Right.
or stone,
Right.
graven by art and man's device.
Go ahead.
And the times of this ignorance.
Right, because that's what was the Most High pointing out there. We try to equate the spirit to something carnal, right? And the Most High looked at that as ignorance, as sin. Stephen, who was it that tried to buy? What was it? Was it Steph? He tried to buy the spirit.
He wanted to buy the Holy Spirit.
He wanted to buy the spirit. Was it? Huh?
He wanted to buy it from Peter, right?
Yeah, but what was his name? Forget his name. But he tried to buy the spirit. They're like, "What the hell are you talking about, bro? You a devil, right?" That was it was looked at as sinful, right? Now read 30.
And the times of this ignorance.
Right? All the ignorances that we've been victim of and that we've committed. What do we think? We're perfect?
It was Simon.
It was Simon, right?
Acts 8.
What do we think? We're perfect, that when you roll in the world and you're filth and you're mire, that you weren't hurting people? How many people have you destroyed? Right? Right? This is jeopardy. How many people has thou destroyed in your ignorance that now they have to forgive you? But you can't forgive? Read on.
And the times of this ignorance,
Right.
the Most High winked at.
Right.
But now commandeth.
He does what?
But now commandeth.
See, this is a commandment. Go ahead.
All men, everywhere, to repent.
Right. And part of that repentance is forgiveness. Part of that repentance is getting out that ignorant ass mind state that I'm going to hold a grudge, that I'm going to be hateful, I'm going to nourish hate. That's ignorance. We got that? We went a little bit over. I'm sorry. But good class. Right? I know y'all had a little question here and there. We'll save it for tomorrow. There was a question in 2 Corinthians. We can go over that tomorrow. Let me see. Can y'all grab that one in 2 Corinthians? It was 2 Corinthians 3. We're not going to go over it right now. I just want to remember. It was 2 Corinthians 3 and verse 12 through 18. Right. So just write that down for me. We can go over that tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow here in Houston. So, you know, it is the Shabbat. This is the night class. We'll be back tomorrow, 10 to 2, to answer your questions and to, you know, whatever y'all need, man. Whatever y'all want to talk about. So, yeah, it was Simon. Yeah, throw out Lewis. It was Simon trying to buy the spirit. They're like, man, you ignorant as hell. Can't buy this. Right? But, again, we thank y'all for joining us. I know I went a little bit over. But yeah, if y'all got anything, save it for tomorrow, and we'll be back here tomorrow. All right? Let's say shalom.
Shalom.
We'll see y'all tomorrow. Hopefully little Shyla will be here too. Papa, I ain't ready. Papa, you ain't ready? You like, just bring it on? Let's get it over with.
Sorry, this thing's frozen.
Oh, really?
So slow. We have to find a way to share this cash on here.
On what though? With the cash?
Yeah, remember you were trying to. But
I did it already.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, it's still slow. I can't even.
It might be the RAM. Use the actual computer itself. Maybe the